Yeah.
Alright, we're live. Chatterbox 104. Grammar sucks, it does. Couldn't resist naming it that. And yeah, so we're still here, we're still alive, we're still torturing your ears with our nonsense. Welcome to that. And yeah. So what was it? There was something I missed in one of the stories last week. Yeah, here it is. Just to kick it off right, because we covered this guy getting arrested, but I didn't realize he was also one of the Hillary Clinton's campaign officials. So the guy that was running the anti-child abuse ring anti-child abuse. He was the chairman of the International Campaign to Stop Rape and Gender Violence and Conflict charity. He was also working on Hillary's 2016 presidential campaign. And he was trying to arrange sex acts with small children and babies.
Jesus, dude.
Even including a 2-year-old daughter of the officer's girlfriend. So like,
fucking disturbing.
Were the people that were on offer, and he was like down with that. So that's pretty fucking gross.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, he admitted to abusing a 13-year-old boy in the past, and that he kept child porn images on his phone.
Mm-hmm. Was this the guy that what the fuck's his name? Josh something? Is that the guy?
Joel Davis. Yeah, we covered this last week. We covered when we were talking about him because he ran it was so bizarre because he ran the charity that was supposed to stop this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he was doing exactly that. And
dude, he had done a TED Talk. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. He did a TED Talk? Oh god, that's disturbing.
He had done a TED Talk about his fucking charity and all that shit, dude. Yeah, god, apparently, dude. Yeah, he was nominated for the fucking Nobel Peace Prize when he was like 19 for that shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, think about that.
Well, and then here's the thing, because you were sent me that thing about Pizzagate.
Oh, right,
which
right.
More and more is starting to look like a real thing. Like, I'm like, I don't want to believe in like weird conspiracy theory stuff, but at the same time, like, it just keeps stacking up.
Yeah, it seems so goddamn far-fetched, but the more you realize how fucking what a fucking cesspool DC is, man. Yeah. How degenerate a lot, and not all of them, obviously.
Well, that guy runs like a family restaurant, but also a weird, creepy private museum that houses live exhibits that you're not allowed to go see, that nobody else gets to know about.
Yeah, that has a huge walk-in freezer for some reason.
Bypasses customs.
Yeah,
nothing should bypass
really customs. Weird shit.
That should never happen.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like spy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, not for a dude running a fucking pizza joint in some weird fucking alleged museum. Yeah, it's really really sinister shit, dude. And it seems crazy. Huh?
It's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah,
but I just figured, that's yet another person linked with the Clintons involved in child pornography that's gotten busted. So it makes me wonder, like, how real is this Pizzagate? Like, maybe it's not necessarily everything that people think it is. It's just a bunch of unrelated people that are all involved in the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not as organized as we think. It's less carefully put together.
Yeah, I don't know. I would be surprised if it wasn't exactly as organized as I'm thinking it is, dude.
Yeah, true. It would be hard to hide that kind of thing.
Yeah, it would almost have to be coordinated.
How many people how many people are you going to find who don't immediately try to kill you if they find out you're doing that?
Yeah. Although, again, this is DC we're talking about. So, you know what I mean? True. People are more concerned, especially in that fucking town, people are way more concerned with not ending their fucking careers than anything ethical.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fucking sickening, but that's kind of how it works, man. It's fucking.
I gotta tell you, man, no matter how much money is on the line, if I'm like fucking hanging out with some people and they're like, hey, check this out, and it's like a bunch of fucking kids like chained to the wall or some shit. Shit's going down, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the only people walking out of that room are me and the kids. Nobody else is coming out.
Right. Yeah, but again,
we're not out later in bags, but they're not going to walk out of there again ever on their own. Like, just not how that works.
Right. Yeah, I would gladly go to jail for killing that motherfucker, or you know what I mean. Then fucking continue my career and let those kids get fucking, yeah, it's sickening. But again, that's the difference. We have no interest in, maintaining a political career or whatever.
I can't even get along with people on YouTube, man. There's no way I'm gonna have a political career. Oh, Mad Metal Man's in the chat. So hey to Mad Metal Man. How's it?
Been accused of doxing. Nice.
Oh, see, you missed where I said like leave it.
Sorry.
That's why I typed it out in the chat. Yeah, it's whatever that is. It's nonsense. I know, we all know Mad Metal Man's not toxic anybody, so we're not going to worry about who said whatever bullshit. That's just nonsense.
Sorry, I read your line, and then I read the line about asking whether. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, I was trying to like that kind of stuff.
Stop drawing attention to it.
Yeah. Anyway,
as we were saying. What the fuck were we saying?
Oh, what was it's crazy? You saw that video of the fucking people chasing the grooming gang out of fucking Leeds.
Oh yeah, dude. Mm-hmm.
That was nice. That was refreshing. Yeah. I was very happy to see that they're finally fucking taking a stand.
Yeah, because honestly, I guess I'm not giving the citizenry of that country enough credit. Like, I know the people that are in charge are fucking spineless, or bought and paid for more than spineless, I should say. But yeah, I did not think they would. I thought they would just kind of suffer in silence like fucking idiots, dude, and but again, I guess if anything's going to get you going, it's the kids getting abused. So, well, yeah, I was fucking glad to see that.
Oh, man. And like, they were just fucking going after those dudes. They were like, get the fuck out of our neighborhood. We're going to fuck you up. They were going after. I was like, finally, this is the shit that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that gets me, the only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is when it comes to mob justice, instead of the police, doing their fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got like a thing here. I'm not going to pull an article up, but it looks like in a lot of cases the police showed up to like make the victims, to hush the victims up, essentially, in different areas of the UK. Wow. So there was one area where they were saying like, yeah, it turns out when the police actually do stuff, it fucking helps.
Right.
Turns out really, really effective. But, when the majority of the police were showing up in like various other areas, essentially intimidating people into like not filing charges and stuff.
Wow.
So, I mean, they're doing the exact opposite of what would actually solve the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they don't seem to have any, powers that be don't seem to have any interest in solving the issue. They're covering it up. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and then, so my concern is mob justice eventually gets innocent people. So, like, right now they're probably going after, like, legitimately guilty people. I don't think they're stupid enough that they don't know that those are the bad guys.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure that was specifically going after them. But I'm not real concerned. Oh, Mad Metal Man points out there's some mob style tactics happening with the police. Like, yeah, like mafioso kind. I'm talking about like pitchforks and fucking torches. Like,
yeah,
they almost invariably start out going after the right people, but eventually it's not the right people anymore. It's just whoever fucking is.
Eventually it gets kind of indiscriminate and kind of mindless, basically.
It might be the guy that fucking looks the right fucking shade of brown and sold coffee to those assholes one time and didn't spit in the coffee.
It could be a Hispanic guy that happens to look a little too Middle Eastern.
I think in that case they'd be literally like a Spanish dude. It'd be like a guy from Spain.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot of Mexicans in the UK. I mean, I'm sure there's some, but
yeah. They're fucking everywhere, goddammit. Let's go that rant about Mexicans, dude.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Well, you hear the communist president, the guy who was an open communist who had the fucking cartels killed off over like 100 other politicians to clear the way and make sure there was no objections. He got elected, and he's saying like, oh, every Mexican has a right to be in the U.S. Fucking storm the borders, all that shit.
Dude, I don't know. Are we gonna go to war with Mexico?
If we do, it'll be the shortest fucking war in history.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Yeah, because literally,
they'll line up their soldiers. We'll kill those soldiers with a few missiles, and it'll be fucking done.
Yeah. Literally, the cartel is more of a threat than your military.
Oh, the cartel wouldn't even be a threat, but yeah, it would be more threatening than their military. They'd probably be better trained,
right?
But they still wouldn't stand a chance because they don't really have any sort of like artillery of any real kind.
Right.
And we would just fucking bombard them with like mortars and missiles, and they'd be fucking their military would be done.
Yeah, it would be very quick, dude.
Yeah. Oh, and also their supplies would probably because the amount of corruption in that fucking country is ridiculous. They'd probably run out of supplies in a week or two. And yeah, Metal's right. Like 1 week of no supplies in their time.
Yeah. Like, all right, motherfucker.
Yeah, it'd be like a 3-day war.
Yeah.
Like day 1, Mexico declares war. Day 2, we're like, dude, really? Can you confirm that? Are you sure? And then day 3, it's over.
Right. Yeah, well, I was thinking more of our reaction to them fucking trying to get their people to storm the borders.
Yeah, like, no, really? For sure. Well, I think we should
your borders, people, and it'll be much more. Our storming of your borders will be much more effective.
I think we should have soldiers lining the border at this point and literally just shooting people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they're refusing to turn away from the border, they're trying to cross illegally, like blatantly. At a certain point, you have to make it clear that that's not allowed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Putting up a wall is just part of it. Like at a certain point, you actually have to enforce that border, like hardcore.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty nuts, man.
I mean, I guess the other alternative could potentially be prison time the first time. But not in a U.S. prison, but outsource it to another country's prison.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like we could work with Cuba and send them over to Cuba for a couple of years. I guarantee those prisons are nothing remotely as nice as ours.
Yeah. No good cable packages in Cuban prisons.
Yeah, we'll just send you to go hang out in the serial killer's prison. See if you make it out of there in 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, because the people that want asylum, and there are some cases where asylum is legitimately necessary, like they have a valid point for it. There are 8 embassies in Mexico, not to mention embassies in every other one of the countries that they can go to apply for it.
Right.
And so like if you can't do it in your country, you can go to the next nearest country and go to the embassy across the border and do it there instead. But there's
no at least one of the ports of entry, like they say.
Yeah, there's no reason to illegally cross the border. I think the second you illegally cross the border, asylum should be off the table entirely.
Yeah.
The only question at that point should be, do we deport them to their own country or to another country?
Mm-hmm.
Or just take them to the nearest border and kick them out?
Yeah, that can't be the first offense, dude. But yeah, if you catch them a second time, that should definitely be on the table, dude.
Well, no, I'm saying if they're claiming that they want asylum the first time, then you deport them immediately. You don't offer them asylum.
Yeah.
So that we're not even putting them in prison at that point. We're just saying like, get the fuck out. The only question would be, do we deport them to their own country or do we deport them like just right back across the border?
Whatever border they crossed, put them on the other side and let them fucking deal with them. All right.
The Israeli stance: just don't touch the wall or fence, and you'll be fine. Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the second you touch it, like a kill line. Like the second you touch the fence, hey, you knew what was going to happen.
The fence is lava, fellas. The fence is lava.
Yeah. And I'm ssure it'll cut down on the amount of kids that are coming across. Obviously, we can't shoot the people with kids, so I mean that's not going to happen. But I mean, I'm really sick of this attitude of like kids are like some sort of get out of jail free card, like or get into the country free card. That's not how that works.
Yeah,
the amount of rape and abuse that's going on to get them here is absurd. Like, and that's not even being covered by the media. Like, they're not covering that over like 60% of these kids get raped on the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really fucking sickening, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something that they don't need to be here. And giving them free money and then allowing them to become citizens and then bring in their family is not going to make that a better situation.
Yeah, no, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, that's exactly how to make sure they fucking want to stay, dude, and make sure they want to keep trying to come back. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, Metal brings up a fair point. In Israel, kids are used as weapons, so you don't discriminate. If somebody's getting on touching the fence, you're done.
Yeah.
Because a kid might blow up just as many people as an adult if they strap the fucking bomb to them, and you never know because they do that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's always
pretty fucking disgusting, man.
Yeah, but it's just like it's such nonsense. But you notice like there's so much less pressure on that now that there might be a new Supreme Court justice nominated by Trump. Well, there will be, obviously.
Oh yeah, Kennedy is retiring.
Yeah, there's 2 years left in his term. They're not going to be able to be like, oh yeah, well we're not going to accept any. We're going to keep him from selecting for 2 years. No, it's not really going to be up to you. Sorry.
Yeah, good luck with that. You're going to filibuster for 2 goddamn years.
Well, we already went nuclear to get the other guy up there, so it won't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And lo and behold, the 2 people Trump is considering right now are both women.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, not only is he,
but are they white women?
Oh, I don't know. Fucking yeah, that's a good point.
Oh man, they got to be high enough on the progressive stack, dude. You know this.
Yeah,
they can't just be women. They got to be white disabled women, lesbian preferably.
Oh yeah, preferably.
Or trans, lesbian, preferably.
Trans, lesbian, women of color, some sort of color.
Yeah, and immigrant somehow.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Although I don't know. I know, like for president, you have to be a natural born citizen. I assume the Supreme Court's got something similar. I would. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be for like the Senate or the House of Representatives.
Yeah, I think it is just president. Yeah.
It might be for the Supreme Court too, though.
All right.
Because there's so few. There's so few. It might be because it's only 9 seats.
Hold on. Let's see what I can find where. No, Jesus Christ. There are no official qualifications for becoming a Supreme Court justice. The Constitution spells out age, citizenship, and residency requirements for becoming president of the United States or a member of Congress, but mentions no rules for joining the nation's highest court. That's fucking awesome.
That's fucking gangster a little bit though. They were like, right. What about for being a Supreme Court member? Fuck the rules. No rules.
Whoever. If they've
that seems like a bad plan.
If they've heard of a courtroom, that's good enough, dude.
Yeah, they should have some sort of fucking like requirements. Good Lord. I'll tell you what, man. If we ever get voted into office, you as the president, me as the vice president, I'm absolutely nominating you for Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
Because there ain't no rules. President could be a freaking Supreme Court member.
Yeah. Yeah. Although they've changed it a little bit. Well, since the Kennedy thing, right? Because they didn't like having like him having his brother be attorney general or whatever when John F. Kennedy was president. I think do they still need the same kind of what do you call it? Same thing they do for the Supreme Court guys, the hearings or whatever you call them.
Well, I think that they basically Congress vets them. So like they're basically sort of interviewed by Congress.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember if it's the Senate or the House of Representatives that has to pass them or both. But the president nominates the person, and then there's like an interview process where they get interviewed by all the different Congress people.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's voted on.
Yeah.
And so, like Mad Metal Man was saying, the left was trying to filibuster Gorsuch, but eventually, like the Republicans just voted to change the rules for how many votes to a simple majority.
Well, I thought the Democrats did that, back when Obama was in. I think that's what it was. I think the Democrats.
No, the Democrats were thinking about doing that, but they didn't have control towards the end of Obama's career.
Oh, okay.
Because when he appointed, didn't he appoint like a couple of justices? I thought he appointed at least one Supreme Court justice, and they were like, and he when he had like 2 months left in his office, the other one was open, and he was trying to appoint somebody on the way out.
Yeah,
and they were saying, look, it's 2 months left. This needs to go to the next guy. You already appointed a couple or something.
Yeah,
so the Republicans did a little filibuster, which the irony is that they're probably gonna. Oh, it's essentially the same as the other appointees in the cabinet. Okay.
Yeah,
so they're probably going to just.
I assume they don't. It's not as intense as a Supreme Court thing because those aren't lifetime appointments. Those are only appointments for while you're in office. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why the Supreme Court ones get such scrutiny and such, they're fought over so vociferously, is because it's not just for 1 or 2 terms. It's
until they choose to step down. Yeah.
Right. Or die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I'm not entirely certain that all of them are still alive and some of them aren't just being propped up with fucking popsicle sticks and glue.
Right. How old are some of those fuckers now? Jesus, dude.
See how much footage there is of random fucking Supreme Court justices just falling asleep?
That's fucking
like in the middle of fucking Supreme Court cases? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There should be an upper age limit. Like once you hit 70, you're done.
Yeah. Or some kind of test that you have to pass, dude. Like some kind of
I would make it an age limit. Dude. I would make it an age limit because anything else can be politicized.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like anything else can be corrupted. But if it's 70 is you're done.
And make it math problems and no word problems, so they can't claim.
But even then, like it can be politicized. Well, they chose really difficult math problems that time.
Oh yeah, that would be a thing.
Insert political party here made this test 4 times as hard as the last person's. Hey, William Stenchover in the chat. What's up, man?
Kind of like your. This was a long time, probably like almost a year ago, but kind of like the. What was it? The chancellor of the California. I can't remember if it was community college or just the overall college system. Wanted to make it. They felt that it was unfair to have algebra be a requirement for a degree because it was unfair to minorities. So they wanted that unfair. Yeah, well, algebra is apparently tough for minorities. So
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, see, it was something along those lines.
Where you're coming from when you're making those suggestions, they make sense. Like it absolutely makes sense. There should be some sort of test that just sees whether or not they've fucking gone senile. At the very least, Right. But unfortunately, if you don't just put it something like an age limit, it just becomes impossible and becomes a morass of politicism and shit. To the point where, because it's a lefty or a righty judge, instead of what it should be 9 constitutionalists. Both sides should have endeavored to put people into the Supreme Court who had no political leanings one way or the other, but were absolutely steadfast in this is the law and this is what the law is. This is what it says and this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, although it's tough to find, people that would be that
Gorsuch is pretty close to that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not perfect. Nobody's ever going to be completely perfect and not at least a little bit one way or the other.
Right.
But, and it's both sides' fault. We're not going to blame one side or the other here. It's become politicized to the point where everybody wants to control who's got the most votes on the Supreme Court. It's always going to come down to we want the Democrats are going to always vote for Democrat when it comes to things that might be remotely political, and the Republicans are always going to vote Republican. And it's that's really what we don't want on the Supreme Court. We don't want any of that.
Yeah. I'd like to see, though, even though he's actually is a politician, is Gowdy. Gowdy'd make a great.
Yeah, Trey Gowdy would be my first nomination because he really, to him, this is the law. It doesn't matter what you want or what you don't want. This is what the law says.
It's not about what you feel is right, or it's fucking
or whatever political
fucking law says.
He's willing to stand up and stay and talk against Republicans too, though.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That's what I'm saying. Fucking.
That guy would be somebody I'd want. Because I don't think he's going to have a political leaning one way or the other. I think he's just going to be this is what the Constitution says. This is what the law says. Period.
Yeah. Maybe someday. Who knows?
Get a few people. If we can get the more people we can get, like Gorsuch and like so on the court, the better. The people who are like not necessarily going to be like, well, it's a political party thing.
Yeah, it definitely
people are going to be like, when they ask him, he's like, no, my response to you is not, I'm going to be right wing or left wing. I'm going to be following the law.
Yeah, I'm going to uphold the Constitution. I'm going to rule via what the fuck the Constitution says.
Like that's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear like I think abortion is really important. I don't give a fuck what you think about abortion. You should care about the law and the law alone, not about specific issues.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, it's fucking. Ugh.
Yeah, you know what? The Supreme Court might actually benefit from being made up of like 9 fucking autists.
Right.
We were just like, nope, that's what the Constitution says. Can't do it.
Yeah, that are just adamant about it. They're like, nope, this is it.
Nope, done. That's what it says. That's what it says. I saw it right there. Yeah, just fucking no give whatsoever. That'd be actually pretty fucking epic.
Right. Yeah, don't care what you feel about. Look, this is what it says. Can you argue with what this says? No? Then there you go.
Oh, man. Let's see here. I'm looking if there's anything. I got some good stuff. Oh, fucking Nestle apparently is getting millions of gallons of water from the national forest in Southern California. So despite the drought, they're still taking millions of gallons.
Wow. And selling it. Profiting.
Yeah, 32 million gallons of water from wells and water collection tunnels in the forest in 2016.
Jesus.
It contends that it inherited rights to forest water dating back more than a century, despite the fact that this is a U.S. national forest.
Right.
I would argue that their water rights ended when they chose not to take responsibility for the land. Because it's the U.S. national forest, so that they don't have to pay taxes. That's what it is. I would argue that the second you gave up the responsibility to keep the land up and to pay taxes on it is the second you lost the right to the water.
Yeah, that is pretty goddamn ridiculous, man.
Yeah, they're supposedly going to do some studies and stuff, and they're like, well, we're going to let them go for another year, but we're going to do some studies and decide whether or not to stop them or not.
Wow. That's amazing.
So they're just going to hope it blows over, because people were all upset because it was a drought, and they're hoping it blows over the next year.
Hope they fucking forget about it.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude. Yeah. Although that does kind of remind me of the that video you sent me about the fucking the bullshit of the food pyramid. Just the fact that
that was a trend.
Never did study. There's never any actual studies done to see whether or not the food pyramid that they came up with in the 70s was actually a good idea as far as diet. And we've gotten incredibly, steadily and steadily fatter and fatter, and had more instances of diabetes, pancreatitis, and all that kind of shit. Steadily increasing since they came up with that dietary guidelines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I found that pretty fascinating.
Wonder, how much is that? How long has Monsanto been around? You know what I mean? Like, was this all essentially like grain companies? Like, obviously not Monsanto themselves, but was this all grain companies that eventually became Monsanto working to get? Because the government essentially pays for all of the wheat, corn, and soy that's grown. The food manufacturers pay next to nothing for it.
Right.
Like they're paying cents on the dollar for what it's costing to grow, because our government is just giving farmers money to grow food.
Yeah, it subsidizes the hell out of it. Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Trickle down.
Well, and here's the really weird thing is it turns out, like, and this is all backed by medical research, you don't actually need any carbohydrates. Your body can actually produce all of the stuff it needs that carbohydrates would give you on its own by basically using fat and protein.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking yeah, it's pretty sickening, man. Yeah, I could not believe that when I was watching that. I'm like, really? Like, It's really bizarre that they just did it. Like, they're like, yeah, no, these are the guidelines based on some flimsy shit. Plus, hearing that the guy that came up with it just like looked at all these other countries and then he formed
15
some
other
idea.
countries and was like, nah, those 15 don't agree with me, so fuck them. But these 7 right here.
Yeah, these ones, majority of these don't support the theory I just came up with. So we're just not going to count them in the study.
Yeah,
or in the fucking...
I think that was a really good documentary. I'm sure there was a lot of exaggerating going on because there is always now.
There's a lot of bad acting. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure.
Seriously, at the beginning of that, the beginning of that, I was literally like, I don't know if I can watch this. These guys are such shitty actors. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
I've been researching ketogenics, so this popped up because I've been watching other videos where doctors have talked about it, like not like advocates, but just people who are like medical professionals giving their point of view on it.
Right.
And overall, it's pretty harmless. But their whole thing is like, well, maybe it works if you do it, but can you do it long term, or is it only going to be a short term thing? Is really the only thing where they come down on, like, we don't. And the other thing they come down on is we don't have any solid research long term to know if it's got any health negatives.
Right.
But ultimately, like, there's like this whole thing where, like, if you go off of grains, low carb, no carb, whatever, well, no carb is virtually impossible.
Right.
But you know, super low carb or ketogenic or whatever variation on that theme, that it'll cure every kind of ailment. Like, that's the part where, you know, obviously they're exaggerating. There's solid research to show that it helps with type 2 diabetes. There's solid research to show that it helps with certain kinds of epilepsy and reducing the amount of seizures that people have. And there's some evidence, but not solid yet. Like, it needs more research to show that it can help a little bit with cancer and reducing the size of tumors.
Right. Yeah, but at least there's research.
You know what I mean? That's what they know for sure as far as research goes.
Yeah.
The whole litany of other things that it solves and magically fixes may or may not be true. We don't have any reason to say one way or the other. So it might help people think clear. It might not. We don't really know yet. Yeah.
But at least there, you know, it is some kind of actual scientific research.
Yeah. So that's what, because my brother's doing the ketogenic thing, and I'm like, well, if we've already got one person doing it, maybe I can give it a shot. Because I've already cut, like, you know, I don't drink soda anymore. I don't eat candy anymore. Cutting all the sugary foods and wheat products out really isn't that much of a impossibility for me.
Yeah, no, I struggle with the sweets for sure.
You can still make sweets. You just have to use different kinds of sweetener other than sugar.
Right.
So you might have to use like sugar alcohol, which is essentially the same thing, just without the parts that your body can absorb. So it's the same kind of sweet flavor as sugar. It just passes through you and doesn't really affect you in any way. Like, you know, your body doesn't absorb any of the bad nutrient stuff, none of the glucose and whatnot.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
That one I haven't studied, but it doesn't take your body out of ketosis, so I'm pretty sure that you're not really processing it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I remember when I was younger, I'm like, well, why the hell why wouldn't our bodies crave the shit that's actually good for us? But again, they actually do. Like, well, not they actually do, but the reason that the sweets and stuff like that taste so good is because they were pretty fucking rare back then, and they did give you, you know, a great amount of energy and, you know, that kind of shit. But now that they're so fucking prevalent, it's fucking too much, dude, and it's fucking killing us, dude.
Yeah, you used to maybe get like chocolate like once or twice a month or something, maybe a year if you're really poor.
Yeah.
But now it's like anytime you want it, you just go to the corner store and drop $1, you know?
Yeah. Sugar is incredibly inexpensive, you know, at the fucking store. Yeah.
Well, and again, I think they made a fair point in that, it's really all supply and demand. That's what people want. People are buying a bunch of it, so that's what they make more of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Indeed.
I think if you could make a low carb or like a keto friendly restaurant chain that did fast food, you'd make fucking bank.
Yeah, that would be fucking great.
Let's do it. Come up with just like a menu of maybe 15 different options, 5 for breakfast, 5 for lunch, 5 for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And just fucking offer them all day so that, people can get, whichever one they want at any time. Like, don't have the weird, like, well, it's 10 a.m. We no longer serve breakfast, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got a fucking freezer full of breakfast, so why are you fucking not selling me what I want?
Yeah, that always, I never understood that shit. Like, why? Why do you have a separate time for that?
Yeah, it's silly. Well, but you go to places like Jack in the Box, they'll serve you the breakfast all day long. They don't care.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years. McDonald's has some of their shit you can get all day.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
why
not sure. I'm sure there's reasons for it. Like maybe the equipment is you got to like change the equipment over some way, and it's like time consuming. I don't know. But
I should probably look into that more and see like what the rationale is behind it.
Could be a marketing thing. Well, pardon me. It could be a marketing thing. Like just we know that people are going to want it more if it's only available during certain times, so they'll be more likely to get it the next day and the next day after.
Yeah,
because they felt
or to rush down and get it before 10 a.m. if they want it, or could be.
Or when you can't get just a regular burger in the morning, nobody will sell it to you. They're all, "Oh, we only do breakfast right now, sir."
Yeah, it's really. That's why I love Jack in the Box, dude.
Yeah, I like Jack in the Box. I love In-N-Out and Wendy's too, though. Like, because their meat just is a little fresher tasting.
Yeah,
I don't know. Something about it tastes like more like it was recently killed.
Right. Oh yeah, fresh, never frozen, dude. Wendy's makes that pretty clear in their fucking commercials, dude.
Oh, and it's the same thing with the In-N-Out then. Okay, so that must be what it is. It's that they're not frozen.
Yeah.
And I think they don't put in fillers. Like I'm pretty sure Jack in the Box has about 30% sawdust in their hamburgers.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know. There's pretty good shit. I really like, especially compared to like McDonald's and shit.
Oh, I'm just fucking around. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if McDonald's is that.
Taco Bell is.
Apparently, they don't use that anymore. But have you ever seen those not commercials, but like apparently they used to put this weird pink gunk in everything.
Oh yeah, the pink slime.
Yeah,
it's like a really, really processed down meat because it's essentially like feet and assholes and lips and tongues and ears.
Yeah, apparently they don't use it anymore, but
no, they probably started using it again now. Now that the hubbub has died off, they probably started slowly working it back in.
Right. Ooh. They just didn't advertise the fact that. Right?
A man of finer who likes the finer things in life, Bad Metal Man. Maybe he wants an egg on his burger. That is excellent. A fried egg on top of a cheeseburger is so good.
Dude, Carl's Jr.
Oh, they do that?
Oh yeah, they have breakfast burgers like that.
Nice.
Or Hardee's if you're east of the Mississippi.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I forget that it's Hardee's, Carl's Jr. And now they got like the green burrito there. Like they serve a lot of different burrito stuff too.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
There's one like right down the road from where I live. Like, were I not so lazy, I could walk there.
Oh, jeez. Hey, dude, I have to take like I hate to do this to you like this, but I have to take like a 5-minute break, dude. All right?
Oh, fair enough.
I'll be back as soon as I can, man. All right, hold on.
All right. So we're just going to pause the podcast. So if everybody could just like stop thinking for a good 5 minutes, that'd be great. All right, let's go here. I got an article for this. That's cool. I'd fucking awesome if I was serious. This is just like a trippy fucking set of photos where shit came real close to being bad. Although in this case, I'm not sure. Like, it looks like it took out the garage, I guess. Maybe that's better than the house. I don't know, man. I'm not real fond of kids. If it took out the cars, I mean, the kids might have been less annoying if they were taken out. I mean, you feel sad for a little while. Oh yeah, the guy that stops the baseball bat. Look at that dude. That guy looks like he's fucking made out of steroids. Love it. Fucking rips that bat out of the air. This one is a trip. Like, if you look how close this shit is. Where it's literally like an inch from fucking that car up. God, you gotta imagine that dude fucking came out and was like stomach sinking down into his fucking feet. Like, oh, my poor fucking baby. Because this looks like a fucking expensive car. I don't know. I think that line is like Ferrari or something. Or is that like Peugeot? And now if it's Peugeot, then who gives a shit? He's a frog. Let's see. That guy does kind of fade into the fucking stove. That's not a good place to chill. I bet it jumps like a motherfucker hella fast if you turn on the burner. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. The wedding ring that fell on the drain grate. It's like, that could have gone so many worse ways than that. Oh, fucking great story from World War I. Fucking granddaddy got fucking shot by a German soldier, and he fucking kept the coins that stopped the bullet. That's gonna be like a cool fucking conversation piece on the like mantelpiece or whatever. Oh, grammatical save. Yeah, you. Whoops. I don't think anybody buys that shit, though. "20 minutes of driving, the camera stayed there. That's not bad." Oh, yeah. Fucking skimmers and shit. That's crazy pants. Always wiggle the card reader. I'll have to remember that shit, because that's fucking insane, dude. Yeah, definitely have to remember that. Okay, that's not cool. Somebody who works for Rexall needs to fucking see this and be like, maybe we should fucking change the packaging on one of these. Like, maybe make the laxatives like an orange and the fucking nighttime sleep aid just a full blue. That'd be fucking the worst. I can't sleep. I just keep shitting all night long. Oh, wait. Here we go. Dude, he just caught that kid from a fucking... Where's that kid coming from? Like the fucking sky? Damn. Oh, okay. Is anybody going to feel bad if this guy eats it? Like, no, not really. You know, that's not as precarious as it looks. It takes a lot to tip over a fucking car. Like, that actually car would have to be a lot further over to even be, like, remotely close to tipping. Because I used to work at a shop. We used to put these things up on lifts all the fucking time. You'd be amazed how many times, like, a fucking point will just slip out, like, one of the 4 points to jack it up. You'd be amazed how often one of those will just slip out and the car's fine. Like, it doesn't tip anywhere. They're pretty fucking solid. You'd also be surprised how easy it is to bend a car's body back out when the fucking lift arm pops out and the fucking body sits on it. That's why you wear safety glasses when you fucking do that shit. Goddamn, dude. All right, let's see. Oh, from fucking Chainsaw? Goddamn, dude. Now, if this motherfucker had one of those old 80s Nokia phones, I wouldn't even be a fucking scratch on it. The fucking chainsaw would be broken, though. We're almost done here. The no proof that almost bit back. That's fucking crazy. Nature is scary. Excellent Twitter to follow, by the way. But absolutely fits right here. You got a fucking golf ball in his beer. Nice. Oh, dude, that kid fucking barely got out of the way in time. Oh, that could have gone so wrong in so many ways. Take out the fucking gas pump. Smear the kid across the road. Darwin is proved right. Oh, yeah, we're not going to watch Gordon Ramsay. That's a click hole that never fucking ends. I didn't realize that. All right, let's see. Oh, did anybody hear about fucking Antifa acting up again in fucking Oregon? Antifa's taking it down. Oh, what was it? It was the right-wing fellas did like a prayer, like a group prayer thing, where they basically just got together to have like a fucking rally, essentially, and cheer about how awesome they are. But yeah, like fucking Antifa showed up again and got beat the fuck down again, hardcore. Crazy how the fucking Antifa has like a black hole around it when it comes to the fucking news. People were getting blocked for suggesting Opal to Gordon Ramsay. That's fucking funny. Like Gordon Ramsay took a look at her fucking cooking on the Twitter and we're like, nope, done. Yeah, Opal, not Opal, Antifa got fucked up. It was pretty funny. Pretty funny to watch some of the footage. Although it really like currently it really shows you like the fascism is really all coming from the left, because like they had all these marches all over the country on yesterday, I think it was, right? Like Sunday or Saturday, for marches for the kids that are being held along with their parents, the illegal aliens. And you didn't see or hear anything about people on the right wing showing up and like throwing rocks or spraying mace or beating them up with baseball bats. Whereas like fucking anytime fucking the right gets together in a lot of areas now, you get Antifa showing up with fucking mace and pepper spray and throwing rocks and firecrackers and improvised explosives and shit. Hitting them with baseball bats. I mean, it's fucking insane. Like it's a real clear indicator of who the fascist is when you're trying to kill people for saying shit you don't agree with. Like, granted, I'm not real big into prayer. I'm not showing up to the fucking prayer weekend or prayer event rally or whatever that the right wing is holding. But I don't feel like I need to go out there and fucking hit them with a stick for it. That just seems a little extreme. It seems excessive. I mean, if you're really that into atheism, I suppose you could show up and be like, God ain't real. God ain't real. Make little signs and shit. Although, honestly, if you're really into atheism, you just don't give a shit. Because, like, if you really don't think God is real, why would you care if other people do? Never understood that shit. Oh, look at that. We got Day 12 maybe coming back.
Yeah. Sorry about that, man.
Well, I had actually a little like set of like crazy pictures to show, so it worked out.
Okay, right on. But yeah,
Picture's worth 1,000 words. So if I'm not saying anything useful, at least the picture is.
Yeah. What brought up the atheism thing?
Oh, fucking talking about like Antifa came and attacked a bunch of people. I forget where they were specifically where they were. It was either Seattle or like Portland, where the right wing had a prayer meeting. Like basically they had a rally and it was supposed to be a evening of prayer or something like that.
Mm.
And Antifa showed up again and got beat the fuck down.
Yeah, as they do, as they usually do.
And I was saying, like, you can tell where the fascism is because it's, you don't see when they did there's a whole bunch of different marches across the country for the kids. They all marched because of the kids who were being held with the illegal aliens, even though it's not our fault. Their parents brought their kids along on a felony.
Right.
But they were marching. It's like, yeah, you go out and make yourself heard. Absolutely. It's your God-given right. And you don't hear anything or see anything about the right wing showing up, because if they did, you'd hear it everywhere. And hitting them with like pepper spray and explosive devices and beating on them with baseball bats. But every time the right wing gets together in certain places, you get people out there trying to kill them. It's like you can't pretend that that's an equal fucking situation. The fascism is clearly on one side right now. And then I was saying, like, if you really got upset by the prayer thing, like maybe if you're an atheist, you get out there and like, make a sign.
Yeah. No, I was a militant atheist for a little bit, dude, when I was much younger. But yeah, I've definitely adopted the live and let live philosophy. Plus, not really an atheist anymore. So, yeah, definitely securely in the agnostic camp.
Yeah, I don't fucking know what the answer is. I don't think I need to know.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's again, in my opinion, everybody should be agnostic because nobody fucking knows one way or the other. Nobody fucking knows.
Yeah. If there was somebody who absolutely fucking had died like 20 years ago and came back and was like, nah, dude, this motherfucker's real. There's a God. I'd be like, all right. I guess I better go to church. Like, or vice versa. If somebody was like, there's absolutely nothing. It's just nothing happened for 20 years. I was gone. Then I'd be less concerned. But I don't know, man. I just don't be an asshole. Is it that hard?
Yeah, apparently it is.
Even though I'm a self-confessed asshole, I still say, don't be an asshole.
It's people forcing their ass holiness on others, dude.
Yeah, don't force your morality on other people. I have to say, like, there's certain things we have to have in order for society to function. Like, you can't just go out killing people, stealing people, raping people, or stealing from people. Stealing people. But you get what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things we have to have in order. Like, we can't allow companies to just dump shit in the water.
Yeah.
Because otherwise society breaks down. Like, there has to be certain things we have to work together on, or it just fucking all goes bad.
Right. Yeah, you can't be robbing from each other. You can't be killing each other. Just assaulting anybody. Don't
needlessly be an asshole. I like that. Don't needlessly be an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, like I feel like it's funny. That's the right reason to be an asshole, right?
Be an asshole for the right reasons. That's perfect, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. We are going to be putting together so much IKEA furniture in the next couple of weeks. Like I told you about the bed. Like we put together it took 5 hours to put together this goddamn IKEA bed. Where the bed lifts up and there's like storage under the bed. It's like it's a big box essentially.
Yeah, it sounds great, but god damn, I can't imagine putting that fucking thing together.
Oh, it's super high quality. It's really nice. Like it's gonna last. Right? And it works super smooth. Everything went together really well. It just there's a lot of steps involved.
And not the most clear directions. I'm guessing if IKEA's reputation holds up.
Yeah, well, the directions literally have no words written of any kind. So there's nothing that says like take this and put this here, or place all the pieces in this setup so that you can keep these 4 holes in the backside towards the head of the headboard of the bed kind of thing.
Yeah, you don't want to get language involved. That's
yeah,
just
it's just like
things.
fingers pointing and arrows and little fucking red lines occasionally.
Yeah, I mean, I get if you're selling internationally, but dude, come on, plenty of companies do, and all they do is throw a few languages, figuring you're gonna know at least one of these 3 or 4.
I've gotten a bunch of stuff from Target, like sets of shelves.
Yeah,
probably like 4 of them that I've put together in my room right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, they'll have it in English, and then
French,
a lot of times
German,
they'll do Spanish and French. Yeah,
and you can go online and find any other language you want in that direction.
Yeah,
essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And usually some form of like Japanese or Chinese.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But like it's all written in different languages, and it's all done poorly. Like it's barely the correct language. But it's much easier to figure out because it says things like, and make sure that this part of the board is down, because if you don't, it will look terrible and it won't, won't look right.
Yeah, it's enough, dude. It's close enough. It's a lot easier to decipher than just fucking arrows and finger pointers.
Yeah. Well, so the way the bed works is it's a big wooden square that sits on the ground, and then you build like a metal framework inside to hold the box spring that the bed sits on.
Right.
And so it's this big wooden square, and we had to take the sides off the square once. We put it together, had to take it back apart and put the sides and switch them because we got them on backwards. And then when we were putting the metal frame that holds the little wooden slats like a box spring for the mattress, we had to take one side off, and we got the front and back bar switched, so they had to be taken off and switched back again.
Okay.
So there was a couple times where we had to take like pretty major steps backwards to redo it, and it was really because it just wasn't very clear in the instructions. Like you had to figure out like, oh, so these extra holes that are in here for no apparent reason really aren't there for no apparent reason, and it matters which side they're on, even though the instructions don't really make that clear.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because there were like extra holes where nothing went. So presumably some of the pieces go to other things with more stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
That gets screwed into them, or different stuff. Like maybe this bed gets sold without the lifting part and the latch and the gas struts that hold it up, and it's just a bed. And when it gets sold that way, you don't use any of those holes. Maybe there's one where it's like got other stuff involved that you put extra stuff in all the other holes we didn't use.
Yeah. So it's kind of tough because you're thinking like, okay, something's got to go there, but it might be something that your set doesn't include or something.
We had a bunch of extra parts that really just didn't go to anything.
That would fucking terrify me, dude.
It's all. I mean, it's so clear. So the instructions make it really clear, like how many parts to use.
Right.
So we used every screw and bracket and bolt and nut and washer and everything
that you're supposed to. Okay, actually, that's true. Basically, I think most places include extra of certain things, right? Just in case, like they get lost or whatever.
In there that didn't really go on anything. That make me wonder if maybe there's something else you can get on that bed as well, like an upgrade from that. Or like
it could be, or it could just be like there's 2 things that use almost exactly the same stuff, and it's actually more cost effective to just throw everything into one package.
That's what I'm thinking, because they also make similar looking beds where there's drawers on each side.
Yeah.
So it's like the same basic build, and instead of the mattress lifting up, it's just 2 drawers on both sides of the bed and pull out. So maybe those little plastic bits have something to do with the drawers or the drawer hardware.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense, dude.
Because it was also split up into 4 boxes. So they had like box 1, 2, 3, and 4 labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's possible that like you get box 3 from this thing, and it has the stuff that lifts the bed. 3 and 4 is for a lift bed, or you get a 3 and 4 from this other kind, and it's a drawer bed.
Right.
So I don't know. It's a trip, and then because all the parts came in different boxes, so that might be something like that. Yeah. And it's just cheaper to be like, if I can throw that 5 cents worth of shit that we don't need in this one.
Yeah, instead of making 2 separate little things or whatever.
Yeah.
Could be.
The best thing I've ever seen when assembling furniture was, I forget where it came from, but we had one that came with the hardware for each step separate.
Wow.
So in its own little, like, it was this plastic thing, and it had a bubble for each step that there was hardware. And they were all separated, and they were all clearly labeled. And it was like a big rolled out thing that just like rolled out into like one big long thing of parts. So you go on there, you start step 1, you just get those parts out, and the rest stay right there where they won't get lost.
Right. So yeah, it's basically like, okay, now you can bust out step 2's thing. Do that.
It was perfect. It was amazing. Yeah. It went together so quick.
Yeah. If it's that detailed. Yeah.
I think it was an exercise bike. And like it basically like everything came apart, and you had to like install the pedals and the seat and the fucking arm, the hand rests and stuff. So
yeah,
like
that's crazy. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think the last thing of significance that I put together was probably a basketball hoop. And that was many, Jesus, that would have been at least, 13, 14 years ago. What was funny is, like, 3 separate times, maybe even more than that, I ended up putting something on backwards. I think it was even at least 4 times. Because I know at least 3 of the times I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going to make sure I don't do that again. And then proceeded to do it 3 more times. I had to end up putting it in backwards and having to end up backtracking and putting it in the right way.
Yep, it's the worst, man.
Yeah, dude, that many times I was like, Jesus, that'll do wonders for your self-esteem, dude.
The last set of shelves I put together, it's like I buy these bookshelves that are supposed to be like 6 foot tall, and I just put together half of it. And it's set up so you can do that. You can just make a short set of shelves with just more shelves. And it works really good for what I've got set up. But if I could put it together, oh no, this one was actually just a short set. It was a little shorter than the other ones, and it has this really flimsy sort of cardboard back, but it's a structural part. And I accidentally stepped on it when I was trying to step over it because it was super fucking late and I was hella tired putting this thing together. So I fucking tore a big fucking rip down the middle of the back of the thing. So I broke out the duct tape and took big fucking long strips of gold duct tape and fucking taped it back together.
So that's fucking awesome.
Really nice in my room, and then one set with it's a big fucking duct tape thing all over the back. Big
that's
line
fucking
right
awesome.
in front of it.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
Oh, and I used gold because I'm like, you know what? I fucked up. I want everybody to know.
Right. I want to make sure I highlight right here in this area here.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're like $20 sets of shells, so I was like, this is not going to be something I'm keeping forever.
Yeah, not exactly the end of the world, man.
Yeah, not worried. But it was pretty fucking funny because it was like everything is done. The last step is to nail this, like, it's not quite cardboard, but it's not really wood either. It's kind of halfway in between. And it keeps the shelf from, like, collapsing to either side.
All right.
And because there's those really cheap shelves. And you hammer little fucking tiny nails all around the back of the damn thing. I mean, there's gotta be like 20 fucking nails. And oh my god, like the feeling you get when you fucking have spent, half an hour putting this thing together and then another 15 minutes just nailing this one piece of wood on, and then you put a fucking hole in it because you're stupid and you step right in the middle of it.
God damn, dude.
Because the only step after that is to put the shelves in.
Yeah. That's got to be so frustrating, dude. Yeesh.
It's the worst.
Yep.
And now I got a desk and like a closet unit that we're going to put together, potentially in the closet. So that will be a thing.
That was also from IKEA, or no?
Yeah. My brother's room is getting completely redone. All the old shit is out. They're getting new shit, like sets of shelves and stuff, so that it's a lot more space for him to put stuff. So it doesn't end up like all over the house and instead of in his room.
Right.
And then a big part of that was just because the closet really wasn't being used, so it's going to be take everything out of the closet, including like the fucking coat rank hanger, like the hanger bar and the fucking shelf and stuff. Because usually, like most closets have like the coat hanger bar and then a shelf over it.
Right.
We're taking all that out, and it's just going to be one big organizational shelves.
Okay.
Yeah. But here's the really interesting part. We're not going to assemble it all the way.
Okay.
I'm not sure how this works, but we have like 18 inches of it that we don't need.
Okay.
So somehow we're just going to leave that off. And then you can actually return those parts for a little bit of the money to IKEA.
Oh, wow. They actually take that back, just the partial parts?
Apparently so, man. I don't doubt that it's going to work because it's IKEA, so I'm sure they figured out that it works that way. But yeah, it's all set up that way.
You would hope so anyway, right?
Well, there's a way to combine, like there's IKEA hacks on YouTube. So you can take and combine multiple different kinds of furniture into things that have nothing to do with what they originally intended to be.
That's crazy, dude.
So there's this crazy, like, it's like a full-sized bed thing, but it's like lifted up over like a sort of like almost like a playhouse for little kids.
All right.
Where it's a combination of like a bed and like a couple of dressers and a shelf or something like that. And it ends up having like stairs and a slide and fucking all this crazy shit. And a little tiny little playhouse underneath instead of just being like a bed that's raised up over like a closet thing.
Right.
Yeah, IKEA hacks are crazy, man. You should check it out on YouTube. They're very interesting.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like it.
That sounds boring. Is what you?
Yeah. No, dude, I got it, dude. I got what you're saying, man. Yeah. No, I will check it out. God damn you. Now I'll make sure to, dude. I'm facing it. Yeah. Remember those videos you thought I didn't have any interest in? I watched every goddamn one of them. That's all I've been doing since I stopped talking to you last. That'll be me on Thursday. I can't do the show. I have to sleep now.
Oh, no. I thought as I was saying it, I'm like, oh, that just sounds so boring.
No, it's not, dude. Or at least not for me, dude. I find shit like that interesting. How people, find off-label uses, shall we say?
Yeah, off-label uses.
Yeah. Crappy.
So here was this one story I wanted to share. I don't really care about this story, but I wanted to make a point. So Ariel Winter, who's apparently the show of on Modern Family, posed topless in some unretouched pics to make an important statement. And these are the supposed topless pictures, and I'd like to say that is not topless.
Right.
If you're going to say topless, I'm expecting the whole.
Yeah. Yeah. No side boob. What the fuck is that? That's not topless.
That's not really topless at all. Yeah. And that's all it is.
Yeah, really going out on a limb there.
Yeah, she's on the show with this crazy Latin lady, the Sofia Vergara.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah, and so I guess she was like washboard flat when the show started, but it's been a long time, so now she went through puberty and got big old bitties.
Right.
She's an adult now, so I can say that. Like, apparently she's...
Now it's not weird.
Yeah, now it's not weird. The countdown is finished. But yeah, I just wanted to point out, like, that is not topless. You need to tell me something is topless, motherfucker. And it better be actually topless.
I better see nips, goddammit.
I want my nipples.
That's false advertising. I'm gonna sue that bitch.
Lying motherfuckers.
Damn.
That's the hard-hitting news. We gotta cover it all, man.
Yeah. We bring you the stories that the other ones are too afraid to cover.
Yeah. Like when people are claiming that they did topless photos, they didn't do topless photos.
Right.
I don't see no titty there. There ain't no topless shit.
Yeah. Not a lot of people say it, but we like boobs.
We're not afraid to say what needs to be said.
Right. We're big fans of titties.
Oh God, I love titties so much. Little titties, big titties, just titties in general. They are perfect.
Yeah, all shapes and sizes. All shapes and sizes, dude.
Oh God.
Maybe not all shapes. They should generally be round, or at least oblong.
I was picturing like triangle boobs. Like Madonna style, but like just made out of skin, not like weird bras or whatever.
Yeah, like a pointy bra, but actually
it's just boobs.
Yeah. Oh, somehow the aerial nipple start, and end in a fucking point. That'd be fucking bizarre.
It's like pyramids on her chest.
I might not be a fan of that, but they're still tits, so I probably would be anyway.
Like, would they be squishy or would they be like really firm and like out, like they'd hurt and shit? Like you could poke a fucking eye out and stuff.
Yeah, well, it probably depends on how cold it is and how aroused she is.
Oh, so like you want to be bad at fucking if you want to have a girlfriend like that.
Yeah.
Because if she's really getting into it, you might lose an eye.
Yeah, you want to be. You want to be sweating. You don't want the AC turned down, dude. Yeah, again, lose an eye. Be a fucking pirate within a fucking week.
So I didn't marry the
lady. Damn.
Oh, that'd be fucking brutal, dude. I'd almost rather be like I was fucking chasing a cat or something.
Right.
Or like I just wasn't paying attention and walked into my fucking closet door and lost my eye. And like I was banging some chick and her titty just scooped one out.
Right. I would almost rather say I was blowing a guy and his load got me right in the eye. All right, maybe not that far.
Load got me in the eye, so I scooped it out in response.
Right. I don't want you thinking that I got it. A titty took my eye out.
Oh, I don't want you thinking I was.
That would be emasculating. That would be weird.
Yeah, I don't want you to think I was gay or anything. I was just blowing it,
dude. Right. Not in a gay way. It was like a hey, thank you kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever seen that shit? Like the people who claim to be gay for pay. Like, I'm not gay, but I'll fuck a dude for money. It's like, no, you're probably gay.
Right.
If I'm not gay, I don't really care how much money you throw at me. I'm definitely not fucking a dude.
Although, dude, that brings up, have you Hunter S. Thompson, one of the first books he wrote was on the Hells Angels. It was kind of like what put him on the map to begin with, before Fear and Loathing and all that shit. He wrote a book on the Hells Angels, and there's this part where he's talking about how fucking gay guys like really fetishize them. I don't know if it's leather or what, dude, but gay guys were fucking totally into them, and like the gay guys would pay them to be able to blow them. And the fucking guys in the Hells Angels were like, you know what? You can call me a fag when I take less than $20 to let a guy blow me. I'm like, oh, all right. Whatever. I just thought the rationale was weird.
that doesn't work for me. That's still pretty gay, dude.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm bringing it up, dude.
Well, I was thinking, so here's what I was thinking, right? Like, I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm also thinking, like, would it be different if it was a tranny in any of these situations?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like straight from Thailand, looks like a chick, but it's really a dude with junk.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so. But whatever.
I mean, it's still a little bit gay. I'm just saying, like, I think there's a lot more people who'd be like, I'd let him blow me.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Like, what if, well, if you didn't know and he happens to have a cock, but the cock never comes out and he totally looks like a fucking
well, yeah, if you didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, if you had no idea until after the fact, that's obviously different. But I'm just saying, like he's paying like $20 if he's paying the Hell's Angel like $20 to let him blow the Hell's Angel. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the Hell's Angel knows like it's a dude.
Yeah.
Like
which was the exact scenario. Yeah, the Hell's Angel knew it was a dude, knew the dude was gay, and
but instead let him blow him
because he paid him money.
Yeah, but it's not like just a regular gay dude. It's like a gay dude with like tits and looks like a girl.
Right. Yeah. It would be a little different, I guess. But the fact that you know, I guess, is kind of the
yeah. Well, I mean, it'd still be gay.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, how many people would be like judging him like less? There'd be a lot of people who are like, I don't know, man, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, yeah. Again, he's not fucking. He's not fucking the dude. The dude chick. The man. I don't know what to call him, dude. It's escaping me now. What the fuck you refer that to? But yeah. I don't fucking know. Sorry, I got a little distracted.
Is being obsessed with like anal with a chick, like kind of a little bit gay?
Dude, I honestly think so, dude. I really do. I wish I'd followed up on this, but like one of the dudes that was in our sober living was like that. And he would always only wanted to have anal. Which I think was kind of messed up for the chicks because apparently the dude had a huge rod, right?
Yeah. You gotta fucking take that slow, especially if she's not like used to it.
Yeah, but again, with his girlfriends, he would only do anal, and I thought that was fucking weird.
No way, that's weird.
All right? Yeah, dude, I think that's messed up for one thing.
I can find having a preference, but like just not being willing to do like regular vaginal intercourse once in a while, so she gets off.
Right, yeah, well, girls can get off from the anal, dude. Like apparently it's kind of right next to like the anal cavity is right next to the.
Sure it's not the same. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah. Although again, for some chicks, apparently it is.
A fucking half-hearted hand job can make you come, but a really good blowjob or mind-blowing sex is going to make you come a lot harder.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, it's. Well, sure I was like, dude, totally I think he's secretly gay and doesn't realize it or doesn't want to admit it. Like that was my take on it, which again could be completely wrong, but that's the way it sounded to me. The way it was, the dude was.
Did he do a lot of prison time?
Yeah. He had a lot of tats. He had a lot of tattoos. I just wondered
if it was something that happened like in prison where he just got to the point where he could that was the way he got off was fucking people in the butt.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, dude. I'm sure he had done prison time, actually. Yeah, because he was on parole or probation. He was on probation, so
yeah,
he most likely.
I wonder if that's part of being institutionalized. And suddenly you just can't handle any other sex but the butt.
Yeah, although from what I've heard from dudes that have been in prison, that really doesn't happen to you unless you fucking want it to happen.
Yeah,
for the most part. I mean, obviously, dudes are getting raped on occasion or whatever, but for the most part, you're not getting fucked unless you want to get fucked.
Well, it's also, I'm sure, a function of staying within your group,
right?
And not crossing. Like, there's the unwritten lines that you don't fuck with people from this other group, and they won't fuck with you, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's usually along racial lines. Yeah, it's usually not grouped by your interests in certain hobbies. It's generally by race.
I would imagine also that like being a kitty fiddler you'd be more likely to get raped.
Oh, they do not. They're not in general population. They have their
no,
own.
I'm just saying, like, if they found out and got you alone.
Oh Jesus!
Somehow.
No, they're the worst. Yeah, they're the lowest of the low in prison, dude.
Yeah, then you might be more likely to be like raped, probably to death at that point. But
yeah. No, like I said, I don't know if I'd mentioned this before, but I had a friend that worked at the state prison here, which is about 50 miles from where I live.
yeah.
And yeah, they have their own separate little unit. And basically, if those dudes start acting up, they start misbehaving, all the guards had to do is like, dude, we're going to put you in Gen Pop if you don't stop. We're going to put you in general population if you don't fucking behave. And those dudes straightened up fucking immediately.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I saw a YouTube video of this guy who was like an ex-con. And he was talking about, he says, like, the one thing that haunts me to this day was there was a guy in a cell near me who was a pedophile, and somehow a group of prisoners managed to get into his cell, probably with bribed a guard or something.
Right.
And tortured him to death for the whole night.
Wow.
Like, he screamed all night long, and he was barely alive in the morning and didn't make it like more than a couple of days after that.
Right. Yeah,
and it's hard to feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, it's like that's got to be haunting to be like the guy in the fucking room next door just listening to the fucking screams.
Yeah. And imagine you'd be having nightmares for pretty much the rest of your life, probably. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, that's why I always advocate, like, just execute. Don't torture. Don't make it into a show. Don't do any of that stuff. Just execute the person.
Yeah.
Like, I get why people want the sort of like the vengeance and the stuff to be, like, want to fucking punish that person. But
yeah, you want to make them suffer, dude.
I totally understand that. But at the same time, I think it's just better to be like, done. Put them, strap them down, inject them with whatever, be done.
All right, dude. I think I'm gonna have to ditch you again for a few minutes.
Oh no!
I am so sorry, man. I'll be back as soon as I can, man. Hold on.
That's cool. Let's see here. Oh, okay. This should be interesting. Oh, pardon me there. Let's see. Screen share. This is the quality entertainment you've come to expect from this. President Trump nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for 2019. I guess the 2018 Peace Prize is already past the deadline. So Christian Tybring-Gjedde and Per Williamson, members of the Norwegian right-leaning Progress Party, nominated President Trump shortly after his history-making summit in North Korea with Kim Jong-un. So essentially, it looks like they're looking at the first document signed where Kim Jong-un is actually willing to sit down at the table and consider denuclearization as like a historic moment, and they're nominating him for that. And like Trump is saying, like, now that we've gotten to this point, like, at least we're not going to be wasting all this money and time on these silly war games trying to show off how strong we are and testing nuclear weapons for no reason, really. So I'm pretty sure I would be actually quite shocked if he wins. I think politically nobody is going to award it, although it would be kind of cool. But like as far as I know, the Nobel Peace Prize is just arbitrarily decided by like one group of people in one small country. I don't think they're likely to. Who is it? Oh, I forget. It's somewhere in this article where they say like where it's done, but essentially it's just like one. Oh, it's in Oslo, Norway. Also, the fact that it's Norwegian party that said that nominated might be a little more likely to get that Peace Prize. I think it'd be a valid point that they're making. He brought North Korea to the fucking negotiating table after decades of armed standoff kind of thing, essentially. So, but the 2018 award is decided between 330 candidates. So I'm sure 2019 will be similar. But notice that like you didn't see shit about this on the fucking mainstream media, because they'd have to acknowledge that Trump had actually done something right. So I thought that was interesting. Oh, God damn it. Hold on a sec. Fucking my voice is going out. So I don't know. That's weird. I'm wondering, because this is an article from today. It just happened today, the nomination, but it should be interesting to see if it pops up in the media in the next few days, and if it does, like how it's addressed. Is it addressed like, hey, yeah, he did bring Korea to the negotiating table. I guess that's something. So he's nominated. We'll see what happens. Or is it like, hate monger, racist Donald Trump is nominated for a peace prize against all odds by hate monger, racist Norwegian Progress Party? I'm feeling it's going to be the second one. It's all going to be a bunch of, like, they're going to be like, neo-Nazi Progress Party in Norway nominates Donald Trump for the Peace Prize. It should be very entertaining. Let's see. I'm slowly running out of shit to talk about here. I think I have one more thing. Oh, this should be interesting if it happens. Yeah, Fox and InfoWars might cover it, but that's probably about it for sure, Metal Man. This is interesting. I don't know how far this is going to go. So it's looking like the United States might actually start the process of looking at designating the Muslim Brotherhood and its components as a foreign terrorist organization, which would absolutely be accurate. They 100% are, but like right now it's supposedly like this great group of guys, according to a bunch of lefty people, that they're paying off. So it's an international Islamist foundation founded in 1928 in Egypt. An ideological precursor to jihadist terrorist groups. Oh, the Muslim Brotherhood's strategic goal of creating a global caliphate. That's their goal. Then yeah, it's 100% like ISIS. That's disturbing. Oh, okay. It tactically shifts between approving and not approving of extremists. Yeah. So historically, established and maintained the ability to wage terroristic violence from its special apparatus terrorist cells in the 1930s to the present. So they actually operate terrorist cells. Crazy sauce. Yeah, Clinton designated Hamas as a terrorist organization in 1995. Interesting. I wonder where the Muslim Brotherhood hasn't been added up till now. Is it just because they've been bribing and paying off people on the left for so long? Because I know they pay off a lot of people in a lot of colleges. Oh, so the Bush and the Obamas treated it as a moderate ally because they were probably getting paid off. But then I'm not entirely sure Bush and Obama weren't both in bed with the fucking terrorist organizations. I mean, they basically created ISIS. There's a push right now where they may be designating the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it should have been happening a long time ago.
Well, I'm not sure if that's going to mean that companies here can't accept money from them anymore. Because that's really the only thing that would make a difference, right?
Right.
Because it's not going to be like, oh, well, they've been designated a terrorist organization, but they can still like give hundreds of thousands or hundreds of millions of dollars to Stanford and all these other colleges. I don't know if Stanford takes money from them. I shouldn't just label them.
Right. Yeah.
But like if they're paying off all these colleges to like teach Islamization, millions of dollars every year, we know they're doing that. We know they're funding history books that are giving fake versions of history, false versions of history, and selling those textbooks to schools and paying schools to take those textbooks. So I don't know, like, would that potentially be a legal means to put a stop to that?
I would hope it is. Jesus Christ. You would have to label that shit as propaganda, I would think. Or whatever the version of terrorist organizations. But it would still be propaganda.
Well, I mean, that's how you get like these. There was a grade school, I forget which state it was in, but there was a grade school in the U.S. where they were literally teaching Islam as the preferred religion, and then walking people through how you become a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Like that
Which
was
is not that complicated.
The comparative religions course that only taught Islam, and at the end was like, and here's how you become a Muslim if you want. It's religion of peace. You should probably do it.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's amazing that would ever be fucking allowed, dude. So much for separation of church and state. That only applies if you're not getting a shitload of money from one of the churches.
Oh, yeah, and Mad Metal makes a point. Bush Sr., Clinton, and Bush II, and Obama were all technically guilty of war crimes and treason if you look into what they were doing compared to domestic and international laws. Yeah. I think that's the big sticking point. I think a lot of people are really wanting to see something give. Some of these people are actually facing criminal charges for the criminal acts. Like being president shouldn't be protection from that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have the diplomatic immunity or whatever that they seem to have. Well, I think the president actually does, right? I don't know that it's true for senators or secretaries of state or that kind of thing.
No, the president doesn't have it. Once they're out of office, they have a limited amount of immunity to like misdemeanors, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they couldn't get away with killing somebody in broad daylight or something like that, obviously.
Well, here's the thing. So they couldn't be charged directly, but they're not immune because Congress can impeach them.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
However, once they're out of office, they no longer enjoy that blanket immunity from the law. So if they've committed crimes, they can be tried for them and put in prison and jail, and put in jail there.
So even if they committed the crimes while they were president, they could be tried once they're no longer president. So
yes, they could be tried after they have stepped down from the office, or if they've been removed from office by Congress. The reason there's that immunity there, like it sounds bad, but realistically, it would be too easy of a political tool to just falsify some charges in some podunk fucking state or podunk town and have like that sheriff go and arrest the president so he's not in office when you want to get stuff done. You know what I mean? So that he can't put a stop to something, or it would be ridiculous if he could just be arrested at random.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure all the people that hate fucking Trump right now would think that's ridiculous and unreal. But even though I hated Bush Jr. Bush Jr. was awful. Not a fan of Obama.
I was at first. I had genuine hope, dude.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't want them arrested arbitrarily for political purposes.
Right.
If it would just, it would be like what's the point of voting for president if your opposing party can just pay off a sheriff or a cop somewhere?
Yeah. Or just some random person can fucking make charges, and then in conjunction with obviously a crooked fucking sheriff or whatever. Yeah.
Well, like those 3 women did with Trump.
Right.
2 of which openly admitted it was a political point, like not that they actually had any real evidence.
Yeah. Dude,
they accused them of rape purely for political reasons.
Yeah. Dude, that is so disgusting. Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. Like, how do you fucking get away with that shit? How are you not arrested? I would say that would be way
afraid in so many places.
That would be way more concerning for me than than any of this fucking Russia bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Those women should have been arrested and put in jail for filing. Well, they never filed charges with the police.
Yeah, they just said
so Trump would have to sue them for like slander.
Slander.
Or libel or slander. I'm not sure which it would count at that point.
I think libel is written, right? And slander
so
is
Trump
spoken.
would have to sue them for slander and then go after all the places that publish the news for libel.
Right.
So I think he would have no chance going for libel and very little going for slander because he won. So it'd be difficult to prove damages.
Right.
And so that's the unfortunate side of that law is if it doesn't work, there's really not a lot you can do to fucking go after those people. Even though realistically they should have been guilty of a crime because you can't just falsely accuse people.
Well, apparently you can.
Well, you shouldn't be allowed.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, because they didn't actually go to the police with it. They're safe.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, essentially, they were careful enough. I guess they were all working with that one lawyer, the one who's representing Stormy Daniels now. It's like this same lawyer that keeps showing up with fake rape charges. That was the reason why I was saying, who was that dude from Alabama, Roy Moore? Why I agreed with him not stepping down is because it was the same lawyer representing all these fake charges from Trump, from other people, and just consistently comes up and helps people file false rape allegations.
Yeah.
And because, well, no, she gets the press, so everybody hears about it, even though it's not true.
Right.
And it kind of pisses me off that Roy Moore didn't get the vote because of these false claims.
Yeah, it was fucked up. See, he's got a fucking case, dude.
Yeah, so he should sue them for fucking libel. Personally, I think he should.
Yeah.
Even if like, and honestly, like at that point, it didn't matter if he did or didn't do any of those things. You shouldn't be allowed to bring up like things that are way past the statute of limitations. All that, I mean, it just, I don't know. That whole shit was crazy. Well, diplomatic immunity is dumb. We give diplomatic immunity, but it's kind of a necessity for like whether or not they're going to send over their what do you call those people?
The goddamn ambassadors.
Ambassadors, yeah. And I think the reason we have diplomatic immunity here is because we want it for our people over there.
Right.
Because while we're not nearly as corrupt as those other countries, they would absolutely just dig up some fake charges whenever they were angry.
Right.
And just take all of our ambassadors hostage.
Yeah. They keep them in jail over there for fucking ever.
Yeah. So we have some sort of like
kind of a checks and balances against their bullshit.
Yeah, like standard agreement between the two countries in order to prevent like that from being a bargaining tool kind of deal. And I would also imagine that if you want to become an ambassador, you have to accept that they're not going to try to rescue you. Like we won't pay ransom. We won't like any of that kind of stuff is probably all made pretty clear up front. Like I'm sure they'll send the military if they can.
Right.
At least covertly, if nothing else. But like, they probably have to be like, look, we're not paying ransom. We're not paying. The country is not going to make a deal to get yourself out of danger. So if shit's going bad, you better leave when you think you need to leave.
Right. Yeah. That whole interplay is between the different nations is just fucking complex to say the least.
Well, I mean, you look at the difference between getting pulled over and threatened with a ticket here in Mexico. If a cop pulls you over and they're talking about writing you a ticket, you have to like beg them not to, essentially. Like that's your best chance of not getting a ticket, or essentially like trying to get a weasel out of it because you probably did whatever it is and you just don't want to pay the fine.
Right.
Whereas in Mexico, if you don't want to pay a bribe to the cop, you got to be like, give me a ticket then. Pull you over for shit you didn't do and isn't illegal. and just try to get you to fucking give them free money, because especially if you're American,
right,
they'll absolutely do it. So you got to be like, you got to insist. You got to be like, all right, then give me a ticket. Like, write me a ticket for that, please.
Like, yeah, I got the time to come back and fight it. I don't even care if I lose.
No, you don't even have to say anything. You just keep insisting that you would like the ticket.
Right.
Because they know that they can't take money from you. They're not supposed to, like, it's illegal for them to accept bribes. And odds are they also know that there's nothing they can write that's going to, like, stick.
So, yeah.
You just have to, like, call their bluff, essentially.
Yeah. And even if it did, they're not getting the money. You know what I mean? It's going to be them having to go to court and getting nothing out of it, no matter what the result is.
Well, and it's just not worth their time anymore.
Yeah.
And if you go to court and you'd be like, he tried to make me bribe him, 9 times out of 10, the judge is going to be like, okay, we're done. You know, like, and you're going to get yelled at. Like, that's pick better victims, dummy.
Right.
If you want to bribe, you better do it right next time. This isn't the way to do it. Don't bother those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is fucking crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know when it comes to that, the foreign affairs shit, man, that is like a box full of fucking tarantulas or some shit. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's a minefield, man. Yeah, negotiating that shit's got to be so fucking just like nerve wracking, dude. Yeah, the interplay of all the different cultures and shit.
Well, and then Trump especially had a kind of the deck dealt against him, because he came in from the United States looking probably the weakest it has in like 50 years.
Yeah.
Like, he had to come in and like beef up the military and be like, we're going to upgrade all the equipment, sort of making like subtle hints of like, yeah, we're not pussies.
Yeah, we're not. Well, it's not even pussies. They just had sold out so much. There's a lot of corruption.
Yeah.
You know, like shit like selling the uranium to fucking Russia. Like, there's so much bullshit corruption, and it was obviously known by the other countries. You know, when you have the fucking, I forget, I think it's a Saudi one, where they're like, okay, yeah, no, I'll give you $1 million to Bill for his birthday, and I'll do it through your Clinton Foundation. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sure there's nothing shady going on there.
Yeah.
It's so fucking blatant.
Yeah, that is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Damn it, where was I going? I completely forgot.
Sorry. Didn't mean to throw you off there.
No, I don't think you threw me off. I just think I fucking forgot.
Well, me too, because all I can remember is what I just said.
Damn it.
Oh, fuck, dude. Are we going to have to rewind our own thing and figure out what the hell we were talking about?
Welcome to the Untitled Studios podcast, where occasionally we go back and re-listen to our own episode in progress. You know what the fuck we just said.
God damn it. I know we were talking about corruption and shit, and how the other countries kind of, you know,
yeah,
we were weak. Oh, yeah, you were saying something about them knowing we were weak. And then we were coming off as weak. I don't think they thought we were weak, but we were like coming from a place of weakness in all of our negotiations. Yeah.
So it was nice to see Trump basically sort of reverse that paradigm and be like, we'll fuck you up. So why don't you be a little more polite, buddy?
Yeah. Obama caved on a bunch of shit. Whatever the reasoning for that was, which I think is he was fucking corrupt, or he was just weak. Either way, that was definitely happening. Dude.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the reason was. It was a really bad outcome for everybody.
Yeah, he was coming out on the losing end of every fucking deal, which is suspicious. You know, it's beyond the realm of possibility to think that there wasn't something unnatural happening. He isn't just a horrible negotiator, you know. He was probably getting corruption.
I don't buy the weakness or bad negotiator. I think he just is incredibly corrupt. I mean, he came out of Chicago.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I doubt that it was fucking just him being a shitty negotiator. Like, really, you made it all the way to the president and you have no fucking haggling skills, dude? That's impossible to believe, dude.
He made it all the way to the president. That guy must give one of the best blowjobs on the planet. Like,
yeah, that too. Yeah, let's start talking about the Michelle/Michael Obama theories, dude.
Oh yeah, really? What is it? Oh, there's that joke. Like, it's nice to have a president who has balls and a first lady who doesn't. Finally.
Yeah, that's fucking beautiful.
So I see that meme at least once a week. I mean, it was like on there every day for a little while, but now I still see it like at least once a week.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it, but that's fucking brilliant. Dude, I think my friend that I was wanting to come on, I think he, because I asked him earlier, I was like, hey, do you want me to send you the last episode? You can check it out and see, like, how we do this. I think because I had emailed him, I texted him a little bit ago saying, all right, I sent the link, via Twitter. I think he's watching the old episode and he thinks that's live. I hope that's what it is, dude.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, Mike, if he wants to come on or if he doesn't, like, either way is fine. I'm totally fine. But it's
I had actually texted him, like, we really should have talked more about how this works. Like, I don't know if he has an alter ego or if he's just has his login for YouTube / Hangouts or whatever is just
if he's that, it shouldn't be. Yeah, if he's that, like, not really aware of the internet, even though we have like a ridiculously small channel and nobody's ever going to see it.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. Like, he worked at Verizon with me, so it's he's tech savvy dude, but he's just never. I don't think he's ever dealt with fucking live, podcasts or any of that kind of shit.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah. Well, either way, like, he should definitely be like clear on like, we say this name or we not say this name, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. So I really need to go over that with him. Yeah. So Mike, if you're actually hearing this, I just said his fucking name. That's fucking brilliant. That's the code name I'm using. Let's go with that. But yeah, you know who you are out there. If you're actually hearing this, we'll fucking work it out and get you on Thursday or something.
Yeah, right on, man, for sure. And I invited somebody. Hopefully, she'll be able to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I fucked up and didn't remember to send any like information until like probably 20 minutes before the show because I was putting that fucking bed together. But that's been like an ordeal since yesterday.
All right.
We literally had to like
this goddamn bed.
And, like, it took like a good 20-30 minutes just bringing all the pieces in. Like, into the house, and then took all that time putting it together today.
Wow. Noise.
That was the other thing I was remembering. Okay, now I remember. Okay. So I'm interested to see if the Space Force is another version of Star Wars like Reagan did.
Oh, right. Yeah, that would be interesting because we'd at least probably be capable of the things that they were putting forth. Yeah. I don't know if you remember the fucking the shit that Reagan was dreaming up, but we were nowhere near being able to do the shit that he was claiming to want to do.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering if it's a way to cycle money into like Black Ops.
Oh, right.
We're just gonna have a few people trained for like the show of it.
Right.
But really, most of all, it's just a way to convince dumb fucking foreign leaders that we're actually throwing money into fucking space military.
Yeah, so it has like two purposes. One, to kind of throw them off.
Yeah, and two, to like pay for some Black Ops.
Yeah, and again, siphoning all that money to, wouldn't be surprised at all, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Star Wars was. Star Wars was all about paying for the spy games.
Mm-hmm.
And it was making Putin think that like we were literally going to fucking come after them in space.
Yeah, or that we could shoot down anything they want. They threw at us. Anything that went ballistic, we'd be able to fucking take out.
And it worked.
Somehow.
It worked, though. Yeah. I mean, they bankrupted themselves just going after the space program stuff. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, the non-existent bullshit.
Yeah, whereas Star Wars never existed. Like, it was never even really a thing.
Right. Yeah.
So
just a little thing like, we're gonna have these planes that'll have these missiles attached that'll be able to go up into space and shoot your shit down.
Yeah, and I think they've researched some aspects of it because it's like, you know, it does make sense to have a way to potentially counter like nuclear warheads before they enter the atmosphere, that kind of thing.
Right. But they were talking like when they had it, like they had that technology.
Well, it is also to calm down the public, you know, to make the public feel like, oh, okay, they got this. We don't have to worry. We can keep going to our factory jobs, keep doing our work. We don't gotta like spend every weekend fucking keeping all our money and not spending anything and letting the economy die while we live in a fucking bomb shelter beneath our suburban house.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, because people, you know, especially younger people, probably not that much younger than you and I, probably don't remember that, you know, nuclear war seemed like a real possibility, like when Reagan was president.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember being a little kid and thinking, like, I'm going to die tonight.
Yeah. Like we're probably, or as kids, like, I bet you $1 million the world's going to end by next week. Like, yeah, I'll take that bet. You're going to collect if the world actually ends? Like, although, again, I never collected the $1 million, surprisingly enough.
No, unfortunately.
I gotta find out at least one of those people became multimillionaires. I'll be like, hey, remember when we were 8?
That'd be a unique and different way for people to try to fucking cage money off them.
Dude, has anyone ever done that as like a sketch on a comedy show? Because I think that'd be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, some guy earns a lot of money and he legitimately made a bet, like you know, when you guys were 8 for $1 million and lost.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, yeah, I remember $100 million in the bank, and you lost that bet when we were 8 years old.
Yeah, so, in fact, there were 3 separate bets, so you owe me $3 million.
Yeah, unless you're a Welch.
Right.
You know, you're a fucking loser who doesn't make good on his bets.
I'll go public with this.
That'd be fucking hilarious. But first, you gotta have the thing where they start out like, "Oh my god, dude, I totally remember you from back then. Oh yeah, that teacher was crazy."
Yeah. Or you can do it as a flashback, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Have kids play the roles.
Well, I'm just saying, like, where you know, like when you see somebody from like high school or something, and you don't really know them that well, or you used to be friends but you've drifted apart.
Right.
There's that like, oh hey, what are you doing? Like that sort of weird, uncomfortable, like sort of cataloging of like, where do we stand now kind of thing.
Right.
Like, here's some stuff we used to have in common. Let's talk about that so that we can feel more comfortable, and then slowly work into what do we have in common now thing.
Right.
So you got to hit that note of the like, let's see where we stand, and then just as you're starting to get into like, oh, maybe we're still cool, even though we haven't seen each other for so long. You throw that fucking curveball. That's when you hit him with the fucking. By the way, you remember that fucking bet? You know, like, once everything seems like it's going to be cool, that's when you want to hit for the most like bang for your buck kind of thing.
Right.
At least that's how they do it on the fucking shows.
Right. That would be fucking brilliant, though. Make it so, Hollywood. I'm sure somebody out there is listening to us.
I'm sure.
Besides Steven Crowder. Although Crowder, go ahead. You always, oddly enough, seem to follow what we're talking about on your next show.
That was
again,
funny,
obviously,
for a couple of weeks. We were doing a whole lot of the stories that they did like a week prior to him doing it.
Yeah, we would talk about it, and then Crowder would be talking about it. Yeah, they're scouring the internet, and we're the source. We're the ones that they're going to figure out what to talk about on their show.
I like to think he does, like he has a few people that just surf the fucking Twitter like I do that look for stuff. Because I mean, he's openly said like, we're not a news story, we're not a news station.
Right.
We do the equivalent of like a fucking Tonight Show with Letterman kind of thing, with just more political.
Right.
So he's like, we're entertainment. We do try to be as honest as we can and do as much research as we can. But I'm not going to pretend that we're like Fox News or CNN.
Yeah.
So at least he's openly honest about like, it's an entertainment show.
Yeah. I haven't followed him in quite some time, but yeah.
I like to check out the comedy skits.
Yeah, I just couldn't take it was too much religious bullshit with him, dude. I just couldn't take it anymore, man.
he's gotten too intolerant. I
Yeah.
mean, religious stuff was a little obnoxious, but like I don't care too much about that. But he started to get to the point where he's like, there is no middle ground. We can't accept any sort of middle ground. We have to fight for everything every time and just never give up, never surrender.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, man.
I don't know, man. It's almost become a point where it's like, but the fucking left won't meet on any middle ground. You know what I mean? Like, you how dare you keep these kids in camps away from their parents instead of putting them in prison with their parents? All right, well, this is not really my job as president. Like, I don't get to make the laws. I'm just enforcing them. So
yeah, what a novel concept.
So Congress's response is, "Oh, it's not our problem. You deal with it, bitch."
Right.
And so it's like, well, then, I mean, that's the middle ground. Is Congress should have worked that out. That should never have been an executive order. That should have been Congress writing a law that says, like, this is how we're going to do everything, and here's how we're going to work it out. And it should have been a bargain for, funding for the wall and starting the wall, ending chain migration, or ending the migration.
Yeah, the way politics, maybe not necessarily the way it should work, but I'm okay with it working like that. And the Democrats kind of just refuse.
It's supposed to work where each side gets a little bit of what they want. Like, maybe the left gets to get a certain amount of the people from DACA amnesty and gets to reunite these kids with their parents in like better conditions or something like that, or separate camps for like the parents and kids to be together. I don't know. Something along those lines. And then we get to start building the wall. And maybe they work out, we're going to grant, like, since these kids are already here, we're going to grant amnesty to all these families, but we're going to end chain migration or end the immigration lottery kind of stuff. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. The right wing gets some of the stuff they want. The left wing gets some of the stuff they want. Nobody's really thrilled, but nobody hates it.
Right.
And like, that's what you want. That's a good compromise. Everybody's like, oh, I guess it's okay. That's when you know you've done it right.
Right.
Because you're never going to make everybody happy. That's not realistic.
Right.
So the part that's really unrealistic right now is, and it's on both sides, is this all or nothing. It's complete victory or utter defeat.
Yeah, or we're taking our ball and going home kind of fucking bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like that's,
and although it does seem like the fucking left is far worse about it, dude. It might be both sides, but
they're politically their political leaders are far worse about it.
Yeah, well, it almost seems like
the people
their base, like their constituency or whatever, wants them to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
It's like
they want to be able to go back to their constituents and say, yeah, we said no to everything, and now nothing's getting done.
Yeah, you're right though. Yeah, because when it wasn't Maxine, the crazy fucking lady that told people to harass random fucking politicians on the street and fucking
public,
shopping
or eating, or
who should be fucking censored from the fucking Congress. The state should have to send somebody to replace her.
Yeah, that would be nice.
They should have recalled her and sent somebody to take her position. Same political party. They shouldn't switch the seat from like a Democrat to a Republican or anything like that.
Yeah,
but they should have said, you know what, you're out, and we're going to send somebody else to take your position until it can be voted on.
Yeah, and instead of that, she's essentially almost the fucking the spokesperson for your fucking party.
Yeah, it must have been Nancy Pelosi then, because it was one of the crazy fucking cats from California, crazy bitches.
Well, Maxine Waters is definitely the one that was telling people to go and harass everybody.
Well, that's not who I'm talking about, though. That's not what I'm talking about, I should say.
Okay.
Right. I think it was Pelosi who was actually sitting down and talking with Trump and working out like negotiations. Her own party just like fucking destroyed her. Like everybody just fucking turned on her.
Yeah, like, for being willing
to sit down with Hitler, because Maybe the leftists convince themselves of this delusional nonsense that Trump is Hitler and everything he says is evil.
Yeah. Well, they've kind of painted themselves into a corner with that bullshit. Yeah.
So I'm not sure where it's going to go from there. But there are also a fair number of people on the right, at least like the people who are like just the not the politicians, but the people who are like, don't negotiate at anything. No negotiation is acceptable.
Right.
Or like,
that's ridiculous no matter what.
Trump conceded this point in conversation. I'm done with him now.
Yeah.
Really? Because he's going to have to give some of the people what they want in order to get what we want. Like that, just how that works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the unreasonable fucks, dude.
Yeah, there's just too many of them, and they're being taken as like the entirety of the parties, and they're really just like minorities.
Yeah, they're an incredibly vocal, loudmouth fucking minority, dude. I think most people are pretty goddamn reasonable. Maybe not as many as in the past.
Is definitely like left wing.
Right.
And I'm sure he would be totally fine. Well, he's not totally left wing, but I think he would be, for amnesty for DACA and stuff like that.
Right. Most likely.
But I think he would be like, yeah, funding for the wall, even though I think the wall is ridiculous. But it gets what I want over here. I think that would be a fair trade.
It's not a bad trade-off. Yeah.
And if he was here, he could argue against that. But he's not.
Right. Press 1. Are you lingering in the chat? Press 1 if you're lingering in the chat, Howard.
Yeah. But I think most people on the left wing would be like, well, except for wouldn't have a problem with us saying, we start building the wall, and you get amnesty for the DACA kids who aren't felons.
Right.
Everybody who's not a felon can have amnesty right now, and we'll deport as it becomes necessary with the felons. So Mad Metal starts typing numbers 6-5. Because I like the idea of self-selecting out. So we're not going to actively waste a lot of money, house to house, going after these people. There's way too many. But each time they commit like a small crime and come up on the police's radar, they're arrested and turned over to ICE and deported.
Yeah.
So that it's just like over time they weed themselves out. Like if you don't commit any more crimes, we might not catch you. But
if you interact with the authorities at all, you're going back.
Yeah. So eventually it'll thin their own numbers out based on their behavior more than anything else.
Right.
So, sort of like the way it would for any illegal alien. Like, we're eventually going to find you and deport you, but, if you follow the laws, at least you have a better chance of not getting deported.
Yeah, exactly.
But, it's so silly to be like, we can't have negotiations even, not much less, like, actually make laws that make those, cement them into law.
Yeah.
Like, they can't even talk. They're not even allowed to talk to people.
We're not even going to discuss it.
And that's the problem. Because that was like Schumacher was the guy that basically is in charge of the Democrats in the Senate, right?
Schumer.
Okay.
Yeah. Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, he was like, he turned around and he said, no, this is your problem. You fix it. This isn't a case of the law, and it's like it absolutely is a case of the law. So dude,
that's what blows my mind. Is Trump's actually trying to do it the way it's supposed to be done? Like, no, you guys are supposed to make this a solid, permanent law. It's not supposed to be an executive order.
He's done it on several occasions where he's like, "This is something that Congress needs to resolve, and they need to sit down and work it out." And that was with the DACA thing, and with several other issues.
Yeah, and then when they refuse to do it, then he does. Yeah, and then when they refuse to do it, then he doesn't the executive order thing.
It's gotten to a point where something has to be done.
Yeah, and then they're refusing to do it, so he's like, "All right, I guess I'm going to have to." Which is not the way the executive order has been handled for a very long time.
Well, it's been sort
I think George W. started.
For, presidents to just make laws, essentially, and that's been a real issue.
Yeah, I think George W. is the one that really started abusing that privilege. Maybe Clinton a little bit, but I think George W. was the one that was really started going crazy with it.
The problem is there's been a lot of times where, honestly, I think it started with Reagan, where the president just arbitrarily made stuff happen. And then it goes back and forth between whichever party's in office.
Yeah.
So there's several different kinds of things, like several different kinds of funding, several different situations that are executive orders. And essentially, like, the first 6 months of any presidency is depending on what party was in there.
Right.
So if it's a Democrat and it was a Republican, the first 6 months is just undoing all those executive orders and writing up the old ones for the Democrat side.
Yeah.
And, and vice versa.
Yeah, I think there was one for like something like abortion awareness in foreign countries or something. It was something like along those lines. Where the Republicans do away with it as soon as they're in office. Democrats sign it back in if they get in office. Yeah,
exactly, and it just goes back and forth every time with political parties. It's just that's all it is. It's a political maneuver. Neither side probably really gives a shit.
Yeah, just like, hey, look, it's kind of like like the virtue signaling to their constituency or whatever, to their base. Look, I'm doing it.
Yeah, the politicians themselves don't care. They just recognize it as a tool to garner support.
Yeah.
Those nasty Republicans took away this abortion thingy. Look what we did. We brought it back. Aren't we good?
Right. Look how much we're accomplishing in our first 100 days.
And then like 4 years later, those nasty Democrats killing babies again. Look what we did. Aren't we good?
Right. People.
Yeah, it's silly. Well, the funny thing is, like, when Trump got in office and was essentially just doing the standard, like, 3 to 6 month part where he just clears up all the old Democrat stuff and puts the Republican stuff back in place, people just freak the fuck out.
Yeah. Shit that's been happening for fucking, at least a few decades.
Yeah.
Following suit. They're like, oh my God, now that Trump's doing it, it's the worst thing ever. Exactly, we need to impeach him. Yeah, it was literally everything he did. Good, bad, or indifferent. Nope, we need to impeach him for this. I'm like, dude, you can't go to 100 every fucking time. It becomes meaningless.
Well, they've tried a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like the fucking nutty Democrats, the ones who were just like, even their own party is like, yeah, but that senator's a little fucking cuckoo.
Right.
Have called for impeachments more than once. Like, I think it's like 2 or 3 times they've called for the vote, but it was like everybody was like, for what?
Right.
Like, that'd be great if we could do it, because we'd love to get rid of like the fucking Republican president and try to force Democrat power back into office despite the will of the people.
Yeah.
But you really don't have a reason, and that's not going to fucking fly.
It would be a lot better if you had some sort of offense that was impeachable. That would help a lot. I know you don't think it's necessary, but it kind of is.
Yeah, you got to have a reason, or you're probably going to get shot. Oh, it's Noob Nation. Hey, what's up, man? I wanted to share this because I know we all like Antifa so much.
Oh, Jesus.
The look on Antifa face when you realize Trump supporters are combat veterans and not what you expect from Xbox.
That's fucking beautiful. Like, oh shit, these fuckers know how to fucking defend themselves.
Yeah, I think it might have been Seattle this time. But like those areas like Portland and Seattle and all those areas are fucking hemorrhaging cops.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, no, this one was in Portland. This one was in Portland again.
Oh, yeah.
The one most recent.
Yeah. No, they will stick to those fucking crazy ass liberal strongholds because they know they'll be able to get away with their nonsense. Well, until again, there's something in approaching fair fight, like only 5-1.
Yeah.
If they only outnumber the people 5-1, they know they're fucked. They need at least 10-1 to have any kind of chance to actually win.
I literally tweeted earlier, like, Yeah, of course Antifa got whooped. They didn't have 10-1 odds.
Yeah.
Like what did I tweet? Oh, god damn it. I literally tweeted something almost exactly like that. Hold on.
Yeah. No, because even somebody that's just average, average combat ability is like, I could easily take out 5 of these fuckers, at once.
Oh, I put down, it's always Antifa getting knocked out unless they have 10-1 odds in their favor. Their skinny little soybean arms just don't have the strength.
Nice. That's so fucking true, though, man. They fucking. It is sad. Like, if they weren't such fucking assholes, you feel sorry for how pitiful they are, dude. Like, dude, you can scare fucking old ladies and fucking kids, maybe, but anybody who knows how to fight is gonna kick your fucking ass.
Dude, I've seen soccer moms like fucking standoff groups of them.
Right. Well, dude, the fucking that fucking flying punch on Richard Spencer, dude, is so fucking telling of how weak these motherfuckers are. I mean, you and I aren't fucking we don't fucking fight or probably haven't fought a whole lot in our lives. But dude, if you or I did that, that motherfucker is going to be flying. If you have a running, jumping fucking start at somebody that's just standing there, that motherfucker is going to go flying, dude. Any average person. And it was just like, hey, that was inconvenient. Like, you know what I mean? It was incredibly fucking weak. For how much that windup was.
Oh, yeah. I've been in probably triple digits when it comes to fights.
Yeah. Oh, no shit. Really?
Yeah, dude. I got beat up almost every single day.
Oh, shit.
Probably a year before kindergarten to like halfway through kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
That I went outside. Yeah. And like, I fought back as much as I could, but I was like super young and these kids were like at least 4 or 5 years older.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. But, so when it comes to like fighting, like I'm pretty adept. I can handle it.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, if I had a sucker punch on somebody, they're gonna go down.
Yeah.
Oh, Noob Nation. Okay, Noob Nation was asking me if I'd seen the video by Very Fake News. I thought you meant like CNN or some shit. I forgot. Very Fake News is a great Twitter account, and I did see that video where basically it was Antifa getting just beat the fuck out of. Somebody else retweeted it. They got stomped. They came in with like all their usual weapons and pepper spray and antics and just got stomped.
Yeah. That's fucking beautiful, man. I'm gonna have to fucking check that out.
Yeah. Very Fake News is a great Twitter to follow, just because they're pretty funny. It's an easy mistake to make when somebody says Very Fake News to think they're talking about like news.
Yeah, not realize that they're talking about a specific site or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot that Twitter. Because I follow a lot of like Twitters that are like somewhat political or at least just funny.
Right.
Because that's where I find as many of the stories as I can find to look at.
Yeah, but that definitely doesn't sound like anything specific. Yeah, I get it.
Yep. Oh man. I also follow so there's this one chick I follow that's just like, because it's so fucking funny. So, okay, this is a weird story. There was a YouTuber who got busted because he, basically his whole career got destroyed because he tried to have a relationship with a younger girl when he was like 19 and she was like 15 or something like that.
Oh, right.
And like, obviously not cool, but it never went anywhere beyond like texting back and forth over like instant messenger.
Right. So like, creepy, but not criminal.
Yeah, just a little weird and inappropriate. And like he knew the family, so he, they could have gotten more than that eventually. But I guess the parents hired like a private detective and scared this fucker, but good. This private detective was like, this is great. He was like, I could have you arrested for all that stuff you were saying online, but I'm not gonna, as long as you promise to you never talk to that girl again. And I'm like, that's when you know the private detective has absolutely got nothing to have you arrested for.
Right. Yeah, that's what they hire him for, just to make you a little nervous.
Well, he found enough stuff that it would look questionable, but the police would do nothing more than just question him.
Right.
And be like, you know what? You might want to just fucking not be involved here because you're going down the wrong fucking road, buddy. But we don't get anything to charge you with. Or at worst, it'd be like some sort of misdemeanor and he'd pay a small fine. Something like that. There's not likely to be a big deal.
Right.
In fact, in a lot of states, that comes under the Romeo and Juliet laws. But he ended up dating this other girl, like after he got big into YouTube, who was super younger than him, but like an adult.
Right. Yeah, at least not illegal, basically.
Yeah, not illegal. It's still like a little weird. Like he obviously likes younger women. But she was like 19 and he was like 20 something. Like 26, 27, like upper 20s. And so his career got tanked. She freaked out, ditched out on him. He got suicidal. She came back. But now she's like a mediocre cam girl on a porn site.
Oh, wow.
Who somehow has a successful cam career, though almost never shows anything.
Yeah, dude,
like,
I'm always amazed how they can
through
fucking
her underwear and shit. Like, doesn't actually take off her panties most of the time.
Never
shows titties.
Yeah. I'm amazed how they fucking manage to have fans with that. You know, when there's other options.
One way or the other, I just think it's hilarious. But yeah, it's bizarre. Like, I don't know why people are paying all that money for that, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, there's some kind of connection she's throwing out that the guys, you know, are probably again incredibly lonely and are feeling like it's a genuine connection, which really isn't. You know, she's probably, you know, able to pull that off with a bunch of different guys.
Oh yeah. Well, I've seen like little bits and pieces of the cam show. I can't watch for very long.
Right.
I think she does nude stuff if they pay enough money and take it to a private one-on-one, her and that one dude.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I can imagine the sad and lonely guys paying a huge chunk of money for that. Yeah,
and I think that's what it is. Is there's a few dozen guys who are willing to like take it to that level and spend that much money every so often.
Yeah. Guys that are too shy.
Their own too.
Yeah, they're spending way more than they would spend at a fucking strip club to fuck a stripper, but they're too shy to actually go and do that. They can only manage to do it online.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She had a YouTube channel that was in the hundreds of thousands of subs anyway. Like his channel was, I think, 2 or 3 million. And hers was like in the few 100,000 at least.
Yeah, so a decent following anyway.
So there was a lot of people that were already fans. So when she went over to the cam girl thing, you know, there was a built-in audience. So there was a large audience to draw from. But, oh God, she just fucking... The cam shows are the most obnoxious thing. I can't watch more than like 10 seconds.
What is it, just boring and kind of self-indulgent bullshit, or...
She acts like she's totally fucking brainless and just giggles a lot and shit.
Oh wow!
Like, oh my God, you guys are so weird.
So she acts like a fucking anime character, basically.
Oh, it makes you want to fucking punch her in the face.
God damn.
Well, like I only found out from the controversy, like who these people were, right?
Right,
like, I watched some of the stuff on his video that wasn't like video game stuff, and he was actually a pretty fucking funny guy. Like, you know, typical YouTube, funny, like not great, but not terrible. Like there was
at least somewhat entertaining.
Yeah, like the typical like we're eating bad tasting jelly beans, ha ha ha. And I watched some of the stuff on her channel. She was not a fucking airhead. She's actually a pretty smart cat, and so it's just like obnoxious and sickening to be like, oh God, you got to pretend to be that fucking dumb to make money.
Yeah,
while playing with yourself with a vibrator. Like, can you at least not do that part?
Right.
And have a little self-respect.
So kind of like what Brittany Venti used to do.
Yeah. Except she's not. She's acting like that's just her.
Right.
Whereas Brittany Venti eventually was like, this is clearly a character.
Yeah. It was pretty obvious, dude. It was entertaining. But yeah.
Yeah, it's obnoxious. Like, I have nothing against people making money doing cam shows. More power to you. You want to do porn?
Yeah, however you can get it done, I guess.
I got no disrespect. I just don't think pretending to be stupid is a good way to make money.
Yeah.
I have no respect for pretending to be dumb.
Yeah. It is kind of fucking sad, but again, if it's either that or having to get a real job, fuck it.
Oh, Noob Nation wants to know if there's any other YouTubers I'd like to see being a cam girl. I actually know of at least 2 other YouTubers who are cam girls. I don't particularly care. Like, I'm not into cam girls, so it doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I can just download porn for free or watch it online for free. Why would I fucking...
Yeah, that's what really doesn't make sense. Yeah. Dude, that reminds me, there was some chick on the game that I play that was apparently getting guys to fucking give her like Google Play bucks or Apple dollars or whatever in the game for sending them nudes.
Yeah, there's a lot of chicks who do that.
I found that fascinating. I'm like, are they not familiar with the internet and how easily obtainable like actual porn is, or plenty of stills if you want them?
People believe they have some sort of personal connection to that person. So it's like they can pretend that they're in some sort of relationship with them.
Yeah, I guess.
Just like, I guess a little bit more enticing for some people than porn.
Yeah, it's sad either way, but yeah, I get it. I guess.
Like, I mean, unless I'm fucking dating a chick, I'm not giving her money.
Yeah. Unless I'm getting laid.
Like, dating a chick and it's been a long time, like we've been together a long time. I'm never going to get married. But if we're together for a long enough point in time, I'm sure we'll both help each other out depending on the situation. You know, like somebody's car breaks down, you help them pay for the fucking repairs or something because you're in a relationship and you live together, kind of thing. Like, that's just what you do.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
I can't
paying all the bills, dude. Fuck that, dude. Yeah, I'm never doing that shit again, dude.
I would never be like the sole bread. I don't want to. I'm not interested. But like, I can't. Like, it's like strippers. Like, I would never go to a like strip club again. Like, I just don't. It's not real.
Yeah, no, I'm well aware of how fake it is. I've been a couple times. It was always bachelor party shit.
I think, for the bachelor's party, I might go because you kind of have to for your friend kind of thing.
Yeah,
but like, I have no interest in it. It's not something I'd ever like want to seek out.
Yeah, I have no fucking interest in a girl pretending to be into me.
Yeah, spend $60 so some girl pretends to like you for like 10 minutes and rubs her titties on you.
Yeah.
All right.
Although I did enjoy it the couple times I went, I gotta admit. But yeah, it's not. I don't understand doing it all the fucking time.
It's not like I went to the dentist. It's not like I went to the dentist.
Right.
But it's a little kind of creepy and gross when you're like, fucking, you got like some strange woman's like fucking grinding on your leg and leaves a fucking wet spot on your pants, and you spend all this money, you're not getting laid.
Yeah, like if you're a regular, if they recognize you, if it's kind of like Norm from Cheers, that's pretty fucking sad, dude.
Dude, if it was a straightforward exchange where I throw a certain amount of money down and I get a blowjob or I get to fuck her, that's different.
Right.
That would be more appealing to me, even though I'm not really into that either. That would be more appealing than just like,
yeah,
I mean, because you could blow through a lot of money at a strip club, man.
Yeah. No, I've heard some stories. Never done it myself, but I've heard some fucking stories, dude. Like, what is
if you're
wrong
not
with you?
like careful and you just start throwing money around because you get into it and you start thinking they like you, or
you're drunk, because obviously they're serving alcohol, so you're drunk and making bad decisions. Yeah.
In California, they can't serve hard liquor; they can only serve like beer.
Oh wow.
And so, very rarely are people drunk. Also, man, if you put your hands on a stripper without everything being like totally agreed to beforehand, you're not supposed to put hands on a stripper. Let me make clear, that's illegal to do that in the first place. But if you're anywhere the bouncers can see you and you put hands on a stripper, you're fucking out quick.
Right.
Even in the shitty joints here.
Yeah.
They will fuck you up. I spent like 8 hours one night talking to a strip club bouncer at a gas station I worked at. So I was working the graveyard shift, and he just fucking showed up like maybe 10 minutes after I got there. And I'm the only guy on shift. And he was just hanging out smoking. So, I went out and had a smoke with him because there was nobody fucking there. And I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? And he's like, oh, I'm just waiting for my fucking girlfriend to get off from work because he was dating a stripper.
Geez,
I got to hear all crazy stories and shit. I can't remember most of them. I know at one point he was telling me that somebody bought like a stripper a car.
Wow.
I mean, it was like a used Honda, like that was a couple years old, but it was still like a $5,000-$6,000 fucking car.
Right. Yeah, it's still never slept great. With him. Wow.
He's like, man.
So that's more of is that more of a FinDom type thing then? A fucking financial domination?
I think it's just a sad, desperate dude that wants to feel like somebody cares about him.
Nah.
And he has the money to throw down $5-6 on a stripper, and she's gonna be like, "You're the best. Oh my god, I love you so much.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm never gonna fuck you, but that's so sweet."
Yeah. And shit like that. And he's like, yeah, there's a lot of people who think they're like in love with the stripper and that she likes him. He's like, it's never true.
Yeah. Have you seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall? There's kind of a line in there like that because he's like he's hanging out. Yeah, he's hanging out, and he was hanging out with what's her name, Mila Kunis, and like they're trying to tell him. He's like, no, it's really a connection. And the guy's like, dude, it's her job, man. He's like, yeah, I bet you think strippers are really in love with you too.
Man. Dude, there are some people who really get into that. I don't think I ever want to go to a strip club again, though.
Yeah. Nope.
It's like, yeah, I'm just going to go have hot chicks rub up on me and then go home frustrated.
Yeah, you'd have a much better success rate if you just go to the quote-unquote massage parlors.
Yeah. You'd probably spend less money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, what was it we blew through? Because we went on my friend's, 21st, no, it's 18th birthday. Was it 18? It was either 18 or 21. We took him out there. And that's when we found out my friend really doesn't like black chicks.
Oh, Jesus, dude. Interesting.
Because, the first stripper that came up to him was this, pretty fucking smoking hot black chick. And we were both me and my friend beforehand, way before we even picked him up, we're like, look, the first stripper that comes up and offers him a lap dance, we're buying for him. Because he will just not.
He'll never do it.
He'll never do it on its own the first time. And because we just kind of knew he's a little uptight. He would tell me that, he'd never jacked off in the shower and shit like that, or that he never masturbated.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not sure it wasn't true.
Oh, geez. Okay, so it was actually believable. It was I was going to say, at 18, that might still be in that stage where you deny it, like you're angry if somebody accuses you of masturbating.
Yeah.
That's right around that age where you start being like, fuck yeah, I masturbate all the fucking time.
Yes, I'm a guy. What do you expect, man? Chicks do it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like in your early teens, you don't admit that shit.
Orgasm feels great. Why would you not do that on a regular basis? It seems silly.
Yeah.
Be like, well, I can't get a girl to do it for me, so I'm not going to do it myself because that would be wrong and more would be wrong.
Yeah. Right.
But, immoral. But so he came back and he was like, look, man, I'm totally down with getting dances. I really I'm not into black girls. That was really awkward. I'm not into that. I don't know, man. It's okay to have preferences. He didn't hate black people or anything. He wasn't racist.
Yeah, just not into him at all.
Not
That's
surprising.
Black
chicks.
I have preferences too, but man, if she's hot, she's hot.
She was hot. I would have gotten the dance.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. What was it? I had the weirdest one from a fucking Asian stripper there, where she just the entire dance, she kept putting her pussy 2 inches in front of my fucking face, for the whole dance, and I'm like,
yeah, that's unfair, dude. It's fucking
that's
bullshit.
cool and all, but you got tits and like it was weird.
Yeah. The pussy's nice to stick your pinga in, but come on, it's not the greatest thing to look at. Show me your fucking tits.
Oh yeah. She was very, very athletic though. It was very amusing.
Nice. Nice and limber.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. There was a lot of ways she could like, because they had the strip club I went to had like places where you go and you sit down and get a lap dance. And then there are also like private booths in the back where you go and lay down and get a lap dance.
Yeah.
So you like lay on the bed and they like basically ride around on top of you.
Yeah, it's almost like a neuro massage, but not.
Yeah, exactly. It's less satisfying than a massage. Like you probably would not do that for a massage, and have spent a lot less money.
Right.
I think, and this was in like fucking, goddamn, like 2004 or something like that, and we probably blew like $300 or $400 a piece.
Wow.
So it's a lot of fucking money for us at that time, for sure.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, at that age, I'd imagine.
Yeah, like he was in college, and then me and my friend were both like at our first jobs out of fucking high school, essentially.
Minimum wage bullshit.
Yep.
Indeed.
Well, actually, no. At that point, I wasn't earning minimum. I was earning more because I worked really hard and asked for raises.
All right.
Because that's when you could still do that at any job.
Right. Where it wasn't just kind of formulated out. Like, all right, you work here this long, you get this raise.
Yeah, it was actually like, did you really do a good job, and did you fucking put in that extra effort that was worth more money? And if you did, you were certainly going to get it, and you didn't have to wait a period of time.
Yeah.
Like the first job I worked, probably after 6 months, I asked for a raise, and they made me a master tire battery tech. So I was like, there was me and one other guy, and we were in charge of the battery bay the whole day, like him for part of the day and me for the rest of the day. And I earned like a $1 more an hour than any of the other tire guys. And that was after like 6 months because I worked my butt off.
Yeah. You show up pretty much every day and fucking bust your ass. Yeah.
And then I
show you're reliable and you work hard, dude.
Exactly. I didn't call in. I didn't fuck around. I did my job. I didn't try to like hide from the boss and not do work.
Right.
Because my thought was like, man, it goes a lot faster if you just work your butt off.
Yeah.
It goes a lot. Like time goes by. It feels like your day is quicker if you just work hard.
Yeah. No, I remember at my first job, I used to hate when it was busy until it made that connection in my head that, yeah, it's nice to get paid to just stand around, but fuck, that's a long fucking shift.
So, yeah, you can't do anything you want. Like, when you're on your time off, you can go watch a movie, you can fucking play video games, you can fucking watch TV, go hang out with your buddies, go shoot some pool, whatever. But fucking at work and you're standing around, you're just standing around work waiting for work.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're actually distracting yourselves by actually doing something, the day goes by a hell of a lot faster.
Yeah, exactly. And then like another 4 months after that, they promoted me to sales, which would have been real money, like real like grown-up wages. I mean, not a great job, but an okay grown-up job.
Right.
And that's when I found out I just couldn't do sales because I just couldn't be that dishonest the way they wanted you to. They wanted you to rip off the customer there, like really bad.
Yeah, no, that's See, I worked in sales, but I also worked at places where you could be honest and still make it.
Yeah, they got mad when you showed the customer like the full list of tire prices, so that they could make like a real decision. Because on any given car, Sears Auto probably has 10 different options for tires that'll fit your car.
Yeah,
10 to 1 odd, they're not telling you the cheapest price.
Yeah, it's the one that's going to make them the most money.
Yeah, and I would tell them straight up. I'd be like, yeah, this is a cheaper tire, but it will not last as long. It will last about half as long. If you go up to this price point, you're going to get a pretty decently durable tire. It's going to last twice as long as this one, but it's only going to cost you like an extra $20 per tire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a pretty decent investment to go up a notch because I would be honest about it.
Right. Yeah. Or you can pay a shitload more money for these super expensive ones that are really not that much better than these middle ones.
Well, I would be honest about what they would do better. Like if you wanted to get like the rain special rain tires or whatever. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but they got a giant groove in the middle.
Oh, right.
And they're supposed to be like super amazing in the rain. Like, yeah, those will stick to the fucking ground like fucking rubber cement. Like you are going to be glued to the ground with those. But they're not going to be super long lasting, and they're really only good for the rain. They're not really going to work that great in the summer because you're missing a giant chunk of tread.
Yeah, makes sense.
All tires are designed to to keep you from sliding around. Like,
those things look cool though. I remember the ones we're talking about. I forgot the name of them, but they looked really cool.
And look, some people really wanted to get those tires, and I'm happy to sell it to them. That's what they want.
Yeah.
If they're like,
make sure they knew what they were getting.
I'm not going to waste their time going over a bunch of shit and trying to downsell them.
Right.
I'm not stupid. Come on. Like, reason.
Yeah. If they want it, it's not like they're horrible tires. It's just not worth
what they're asking me, like, is it worth buying it? I'd be like, nah, not really. But these Michelins over here that are a good mid-range tire, these will see you right for a while. You know what I mean? Like, they're not the Pirelli fucking super awesome low-profile tires that are going to fucking be like a race car dryer.
Right.
But they're going to, like, you're driving a fucking minivan, soccer mom. These are going to set you right. You're not going to slide all over the road in the rain. They're going to be pretty durable. You know, you're not likely to get stuck on the side of the road as you would be with the really cheap tires with the blowout. Because I'll tell you right now, the real difference between the cheapest tires and the most expensive is the thickness of the sidewall. So if you go a good mid-range tire, you're getting at least a 1/4 inch more material on the sidewall, and that makes a huge difference in how long that tire lasts and how much more likely you are to get like the wall versus blowing out on the side.
Right.
Yeah, like if you're buying like Sears brand tires, those are fucking like paper thin sidewalls.
Oh wow, that's funny. Nice.
But see, like, you know, I was honest with people, and that shit got me in trouble so many times.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I saw grown ass men just like fucking furious with each other over things like that were 50-cent commissions.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that shit. I couldn't fucking believe it.
I mean,
because I rarely had that issue at any of the jobs I worked at. Like most people were, and they were a lot more than what you're talking about. We're talking about $15, $20 a pop. You know, we would give it up for the other people almost everywhere I worked. Not all the time, but incredibly rare.
Yeah, if somebody else did all the legwork for the sale and the person just came in when they weren't there, you still put it under their sales number.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just common decency. These guys would snake that from each other all the time, and all of them did it, and all of them would get livid.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Pure fucking hatred in their eyes, the kind where you're like, man, if this dude had a knife right now,
right,
somebody getting shanked on the fucking yard.
Like, holy shit, these motherfuckers might actually throw down after work, dude. Holy shit.
There were a couple times when they came close, like they get up in each other's faces screaming at each other. One dude, one of the sales guys, this guy was probably one of the sales guys that was the nicest outside of with each other. Some of them hated everybody, including the people that did the work. This guy was actually really nice to everybody except the other salespeople because they all hated each other.
Right.
This dude was so fucking broken and fucking just defeated by the job, and he was like, maybe he retired while I worked there. But he would come into work every morning like a half an hour before work with a fucking 40-ounce can of fucking Budweiser and a fucking box of cornflakes in a bowl, and he would fucking have cornflakes with Budweiser and just kill the can, eat the fucking cereal, and drink the rest of the beer out of the bowl.
Holy shit, dude! That is fucking
every day.
That's amazing, dude.
That was the other reason I quit that job. I was just like, I don't ever want to be that dude.
Right.
Where I can't make it through the day without a 40-ounce can of beer to start.
Yeah, can't even start the fucking day without getting fucking. Oh man, that is incredibly sad, dude. It's hilarious on one level, but god damn.
It was just one of those things where you're like, God damn, dude, this place broke that motherfucker.
Dude, that's like something you would think you'd see only in a movie, like as a fucking caricature of something that would never happen in real life, and it fucking happened. That's amazing.
It was legit breakfast cereal and fucking beer.
Wow.
Oh man. And he was like, he looked like, you know, that fucking, not the uncle that's going to touch you funny if you're alone with him, but like the cool uncle that like always tells really funny stories at the fucking family gatherings and shit.
Right.
But like life had broken him.
He was just done. Like he used to be that guy, and life just fucking ruined him.
I get the feeling he was that guy when he left.
Mm.
Like at the end of the day, he went back to being that guy.
Mm.
But just like, he had, I think when I started working there, he had like 6 months left before retiring.
All right.
Like, he fucking hated every day of that 6 months, and he was drinking hard.
He's just grinding it out because he got his fucking retirement pay if he stayed long enough.
Yeah, exactly. He was staying just long enough to get the full retirement benefits, and then he was fucking done.
Yeah, that's almost like jail. Like, dude, I just got to do my time, and then I'm free.
It was exactly like jail. Absolutely. I also worked with this one dude who was like a magician. He could literally disappear and reappear at different places in the store all the time. Like, you could look for him for 20 minutes, not find him, and then he'd be where you looked first.
Damn.
And everybody just like, it was like everybody was okay with it. It was just bizarre. Like you were fucking hypnotized or some shit. They're like, oh, that's just Billy.
Right. Yeah. If he doesn't want to be found, you're not gonna find him.
Yeah, it was fucking bizarre. And like, he didn't do but like half the work that anybody else did in this place, because he would just disappear all the time. And then on his last fucking day, because I was telling him, I'm like, you gotta fucking tell me how you do it. How do you fucking disappear? Tell me. He had this fucking system where he would like sneak across the parking lot into the fucking mall parking lot that was across from the store and hide way down at the end of the fucking mall parking lot and just smoke.
Damn, dude, that was
so he would like fucking like a ninja his way across the parking lot and then just stand there and smoke for like hours at a time in the fucking mall parking lot. I'm like, damn, that's so weird, man.
You have some kind of sixth sense, like, oh shit, I better get back. They probably have noticed by now.
He was always there when the boss was looking for him, but everybody else could never find him.
They just sat over there smoking with his binoculars so he could see when the boss showed up.
Dude, I don't fucking know, man. That was funny.
That's spectacular, dude.
That dude managed to convince some kid to fucking buy him a 6-pack of beer in exchange for his soul. They fucking wrote a contract up. And literally, because they were roommates. The other guy, one was a salesman, and this kid was like a tire buster, and then he eventually became a salesman. But he convinced the salesman guy to fucking buy him a 6-pack of beer, and they wrote up on a fucking piece of binder paper in like red ink fucking contract where the salesman would have ownership of his soul for like a 6-pack of fucking beer.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine, a couple friends of mine do that over a fucking 20-sack of weed.
This is more common than I was aware of.
Yeah, apparently, dude. Although they didn't draw paperwork, it was a let's say a gentleman's agreement.
Gentleman's agreement. Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, a verbal contract.
And in my memory, he signed it in blood, but that probably didn't really happen. That's probably just I remember it that way because it's funnier.
Probably just red ink, symbolic blood.
Just red ink, but yeah.
Man.
God damn, dude, that's so funny. I'll have to try that sometime, man. I just really need that fucking box of Twinkies because I don't drink or smoke weed right now, so I can't get that out of me.
Hey, you want my soul? I'll draw up the paperwork, man. You give me those Swinkies, my soul is yours.
That'd be a great fucking beginning for a movie.
Right.
Some kid accidentally sells his soul for a fucking box of fucking like Twinkies or fucking chips or something.
Yeah, and he dies, and it ends up being valid. Like, holy shit, that dude really has my soul.
Hell yeah! And then the fucking devil makes him do some, I don't know, some sort of weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think it'd be funnier if it was just some dude, not even the devil, just some dude had ownership of his soul. That'd be fucking hilarious.
And then the fucking like the dude has to figure out like how to use him now because he can make him fucking appear and whatnot.
Yeah, he's able to make him do fucking menial tasks for him.
That'd be fucking crazy. He's like, I guess keep my apartment clean.
Right.
I don't know. You're gonna be here a while.
Like, I'm tired of dating this chick. Could you haunt my place until she gets the fuck out?
Yeah.
She's scared, and then she has to break up with me.
Oh, that'd be a trip. I like that.
We got to write our ideas down, dude. Even though it'll never come to anything. We should have.
I downloaded that script writing software. I just haven't had. I've been doing all this fucking cleaning and putting furniture and shit together.
Yeah.
Also, I have fucking binders and binders of shit I've written down for ideas that I've never followed through on.
Really? Yeah. See, I never have written them down. Yeah. I had a friend of mine that was like, "Dude, you got to start writing stuff down, man."
I should find one of them and read it on the fucking show sometime.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, the only list I've made is the list of songs that I want to read the lyrics to in a fucking bad Sean Connery accent, dude.
Fucking Adele, dude. Any Adele song sounds creepy as fuck. I must have called you like 1,000 times. Like, then stop calling. You know why? He doesn't want to talk to you. He doesn't.
Although that did remind me, I did this thing where I took the lyrics to "Wish You Were Here," and I sent it to a friend of mine, like they were legitimate questions, because the entire fucking song is a question. Like, so you think you can tell heaven from hell? And then like the next line would be the next one, blue skies from pain. And did an entire email of every fucking question in a fucking thing. And I fucking, and then I did my other kind of favorite thing to do, which is either voicemail or it even works on text a lot. It works better on voicemail, where you leave somebody a voicemail when people used to do that. Where you're like, you sound like really urgent, and you're like, "Hey man, it's really unimportant that you call me back as soon as possible." So you're saying unimportant instead of important. But they're like, "Dude, you said it was really important that I call you back as soon as possible." I said, "No, I said it was really unimportant." Like, go back and listen to it, dude. It even works, dude. It actually works in text, even though the word is spelled out, unimportant. Dude, I did that with that one. I'm like, dude, it's very unimportant that you check that email right away. I got some questions I need answered. Very unimportant that you check that email right away. And yeah, he was like, dude, it said it was really important. I'm like, go check your text, dude. It says it's unimportant.
There's a similar thing that happens in Sea of Thieves. You never say, "Don't pull the anchor." You just don't say anything unless somebody says, "Oh, I'm going to get the anchor." Be like, no, don't. But never say, "Don't pull the anchor," because 9 times out of 10, if you're in any kind of situation where it's tense, they'll hear anchor and just immediately pull it.
Oh, okay.
Even though you're saying, "Don't pull the
anchor."
Yeah, you're saying, "Leave the anchor alone. Don't hit it." They're going to immediately go and hit the anchor. Somebody will do it every goddamn time.
Yeah. As soon as they hear the word anchor, it's just automatic.
They just immediately do it for some fucking reason. It's
That's funny.
Fucking don't. So it's got to be a similar thing where it's like the urgency gets through and their brain skips that part. So they don't see the they just see the important because it sounds urgent.
Yeah, it works much better verbally, but again, it still works in text form.
That's
pretty funny. Yeah, or I used to be. Oh, dude. Or the other thing, it was also voicemail back when again people called each other. I would be like, "Hey, man, in case you're in a bad mood, man, let me. I have these lyrics to the song that were really inspirational," and I would read something that was like really depressing, like Alice in Chains lyrics or something like that. And I would read that kind of shit to him and be like, "There you go. Hope that cheers you up, fucker." Yeah, those are pretty good, dude.
Man. I think one of my favorite was just to ramble. See if you could fill up their fucking voicemail tape.
Yeah, the 5 minutes and 40 seconds or whatever it is, dude. Yeah.
Instead of so that they couldn't get any more voicemails.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Thing you could ever do, because in the days of yore, there used to be a little tape in there a lot of times, or even when they went digital, there'd be a time limit for how many messages it could handle.
Oh, right.
Time it could record total.
Yeah, it wasn't a.
You could fill that shit up sometimes.
Yeah, like now it's basically a number. Each one can only go so long, but it's basically a number of voicemails. But yeah, back when it was tape, especially. Now, but yeah, it was just an amount.
Potentially, you could leave like a few thousand voicemails if you really were like determined, but that would be a little more work.
This one guy I knew, he never did it to me, but he would call and like, if it was like Christmas time, he would sing a song and he would put the dude's name in the fucking, like instead of Jingle Bells, he'd be like singing Danny Bells or, whatever the dude's name was. But what he would do is when it would get cut off for the time, like each message only had a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
He would call back and he would start singing exactly where he left off on the previous voicemail. It was fucking brilliant, dude. Like, how do you know exactly where the fucking start again, dude? That's amazing.
Yeah, that's got to be the worst. You're like, I got 3 messages. They're all from him. You're like, it's going to be one fucking song. I know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after a while, I'd imagine you're just like, God damn it. I know what this is. I still technically have to check it, but God damn it.
I fucking love that. Just start singing a song with their name in it.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking funny, dude.
Oh, man. You used to be able to like prank call people too. I don't think you can get away with that shit now because everything's got fucking caller ID.
Yeah, everything's too easily tracked nowadays.
Yeah.
Star 69 started it, ruined the fucking prank call forever.
Well, and then they used to have fucking payphones everywhere. I used to use those all the time.
Oh, right. Yeah, now only in the bad drug dealer neighborhoods do you still see a payphone, and even that's pretty goddamn rare.
I think they're like required to be at gas stations or something because I think I've seen them at a few gas stations.
Yeah, or I think they only keep up the ones that are still somehow making money. Like they're like, hey, people are still using it. People are still putting quarters into this fucking thing. So let's leave it there until they stop doing that.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You also see payphones, I think, at like bus stations.
Right.
Some bus stations, not all of them, but some.
Yeah. But yeah, remember how many, like, dude, you see movies back before cell phones became so prevalent. There's these banks and banks of fucking cell phones at airports, at bus stations, wherever. Yep. And now, yeah, it's completely fucking unnecessary.
God damn, that's weird because I remember so many times when I was a kid, like my parents would send me out to like go do something and you like, a couple of dimes to call them from the fucking payphone.
Yeah, and that shit's non-existent. Now you got to pay the kid's goddamn cell phone bill.
Yeah, it was crazy when it went up to a quarter, and then people were all incensed when it went up to like 35 cents a call.
Right.
Because they just kept raising the rates, and it's like, well, yeah, of course cell phones went out. They kept fucking raising the fucking rates on the payphones.
Yeah.
Because they used to be fucking everywhere, dude. Like, you used to not really have too much trouble just driving around and finding a payphone.
Yeah. But yeah, now they're fucking like spotting Bigfoot.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't even exist anymore, right?
You see them, everybody, like, you can see, like, whenever you see a payphone, you always see the old people stop and look at them for a minute, like, holy shit.
Wow, I remember when those were everywhere, as far as the eye could see. Yeah, we are that old, man. That's fucking awesome.
Oh man! All right, I think on that note, we should probably put an end.
Yeah. Although, real quick, the other thing I was brought up, I was like, that was postcards. Like, do people still send postcards? Like, I know they still sell them and people still buy them, but do anybody actually send them? I don't think they do.
I don't think.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to throw that in there. All right, we're ending it. God damn it! Bye bye.
We're ending it. Yeah, that's right. See you guys later. See you on
Thanks for sticking around.